theoretically we're live. All right. All right. Hello. So, I'm basically a noob at League, but I have actually played, but I'm really mediocre. But this stream is particularly just to kind of learn the game and how to watch the game.
Welcome back to the LCS. It's time for week number 2 here in our 2026 competition.
Shout out Kawhi Chamoyada.
We're going to kick off this second with Cloud9 going head-to-head against Lion. I'm Captain
How are we on
Joined by
sound?
Azale for this one. What's up? Buddy, I am excited.
Me too.
I do feel like we need to let the
draws. We've been eating good.
We do need to let the casters breathe a little bit.
Cloud9 having beaten TL and then immediately drawing another really hyped up top team in Lion. So this is going to be super exciting. We have Berserker versus his old squad. It's just so funny bantering back and forth with Sven and Berserker. Yeah. I was sitting out there, and before the cameras even came to us, they both had me like laughing so hard. So it is just really fun seeing these guys who clearly are good friends, clearly continue to follow each other's careers. Now back in the same league and battling in the bot lane.
Not just back in the same league, back in the same role. Sven is no longer the Yumi E-kitten riding along for the victory in the bottom lane. He's
all right,
there.
shout out Han Mushy. All right, so today is a combination. So the tournament starts with a Swiss. And then the top 6 teams go into the playoffs. So Sen plays the second match today. So the first match is the two of the 2-0 team or 1-0 teams coming into the year. These are 2 of the 3 teams everybody think are going to be best. Cloud9, who's perennially a top team, who beat Team Liquid last week. And then Lion, who picked up Inspired, who I would best say is the Demon One of League of Legends. Grandpa is streaming to walk anyone who is a Valorant fan through League of Legends. If you're a hardcore League of Legends fan, you can troll me, or maybe you can add some commentary in the chat bot.
Going through this draft super quickly here. Obviously, really powerful engage tools
from
both of the junglers here. The
Sentinels is playing Dignitas after this match, so it's best 2 out of 3. And this should be a pretty good match and a fun match.
With his team, and really was able to slam that home. And now
thank you, Rain TFS. Big day for us. Definitely don't want to start the season 0-2. So what happens is the teams who are 2-1 or 3-0 go into the upper bracket double elimination for the playoffs. The team that goes 0-3 is knocked out, and then there's 3 1-2 teams. One of those 1-2 teams, whoever has the best game record, becomes the 5 seed, and the other 2 1-2 teams will have a 1-game playoff to get into the playoffs. The teams with 1-2 records go into the lower brackets. They play single elimination. So this week and next week are the Swiss matches. Sentinels is going to be facing Dignitas at Sentinels will be facing Dignitas after this match.
All right.
Cool.
Alex is making a cameo appearance, chat.
That's totally normal.
You know what? This is just another day at the office. We got ourselves some marksman bands coming out from C9. Since they already have the Corki down there for Sven, they'll take Yunara off the table. Meanwhile, Lion, with that blind
thank you, Alex.
You talked about, they want to get rid of a couple good responses there for Thanatos. They will remove the Gnar.
So, yeah, I think we got backlogged on the SanDisk giveaway. So if you're a SanDisk winner, go ahead and DM me today, and I'm going to send them a list of the people who haven't got the shipping yet, and we'll get the shipping information pulled for you, so you can track the package. Then today, we got a brand new T-shirt in the shop. I'll give a few of these away, and ask any questions about League of Legends, Sentinels, and
we're just waiting for that
we will try and walk through the basics
Because yes,
of a League of Legends match.
Pretty strong tools.
The
So
part I'm no use for is the draft.
Counter, something that is pretty difficult
So
for
there's,
actually
let's see how many actual champions there are in League. That's an important question
when he was
to know
playing
the answer to.
Against Morgan on TL, and he bought it out against the Rumble, but Morgan actually played that lane.
Does anyone in
really
chat
well
know the answer? How many
champions
champions are in League of Legends?
So we'll see how Dokla can actually.
Yes, Badger, that's the whole point. Is just kind of hang out, learn some League. The Valorant matches don't start till 2 o'clock today. Not really the best matches today. So we'll hang out, watch some League.
Traditional engage. Jarvan is really going to be that lone frontliner this time with the
Shout out K. Hamigel.
A lot of frontline. So I think more what you're going to see in a lot of these fights from Blabber is he's just going to ult in and then flag and drag backwards, and you're going to have like the Nami ult coming over the top. You're going to have the Aurora ult there. Like all this damage is going to get piled in. He's not necessarily going to be trying to stay.
They're about
in the
170
he's the sole melee champion on this team, right? If he just stays out there,
champions in League of Legends.
Quickly. Was that karma, as I was mentioning earlier, so they are going more for the poke style.
And so each team gets to ban 5 per game, and then they came up with a new approach to the game. I think it was last year, where it's called the Fearless Draft. So you cannot play any of these champions again. So the 10 champions being played in this game, these will be automatically banned for the next game. So you can't just come in and play the same champion over and over again. So it makes a lot more variety, a lot more fun relative to the different champions that get played.
And I feel like I talk about this all the time.
Shout out to the Red Bull Fairy who dropped off my favorite Fuji Apple and Ginger last week.
Especially in a matchup like this, where what you're talking about is a front line that's not really there.
Shout out
to
Crazy
rather just start it off. I want to see early active plays
Welcome
from that much
to
more, because if he's not at least even with the curve of the game,
League of Legends stream for noobs.
Like maybe when you go in
if you understand the game, feel free to correct me in the chat. And if you don't understand the game, feel free to ask any question about League of Legends. The basics of the game are pretty straightforward. There are 3 rows of towers throughout the map, and you got to knock the other team's towers down and then capture their base.
And I think that was his ward that he dropped as well. So going to drop his ward in that side lane brush. That is really important in these.
I'm wearing a Sen t-shirt. You're wearing a Sen jersey. Here we go.
Sit in that side brush and jump in and out, dropping aggro from the minions over and over and over. So Inspired goes up top, hits a Q on Thanatos.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, for those of you who are Valorant fans, obviously the emotions got a little high. Obviously, last week was not. It was, you know, one of those tough matches when you lose by 2 to 100 Thieves in Valorant in both matches. Things obviously got a little extreme. But I think the most impressive thing about Redux last week was he had a really rough map 1 and he carried map 2. So that was great to see from Redux in terms of his potential. All right. So when the game initially starts, and we got reprimanded on Twitter last week for our Twitter said we win map 1. Somebody reposted and said, "Hey, FPS nerds, they're games, not maps." But that aside.
We are expecting from the Aurora.
So these little characters here are called minions. The more you kill them, you get gold and experience, so you level up your character, which gives you additional abilities, additional health.
He just needs to stick
the one in the middle of the cannon does more damage
exactly.
and gets you
really
more gold.
To
the most important thing is you have to get the last hit on the minion,
careful
otherwise the other minions will
minions
kill
you're
them off
fighting
and
for
you don't
what
get
minions
any
you're getting
benefit.
You cannot afford to lose too much HP. Does miss the cannon. That
yes, second is the GOAT.
Well,
we will always root for second.
Sven versus
you know, at the end of the day, the combination of
history
for him the opportunity to go play with Aspas and
on Cloud9,
you know they just decided they had to have the 2 of them, and so
he was
they had a whole roster of 5 they wanted to play with, so it wasn't as simple as just keeping second.
Average finish 1.33, so almost always
but yeah, hopefully
range. They won 2 titles.
You know, it's a little hard to compare Redux month 1 versus second year 4. But I think, you know, that is what we feel like the upside to Redux is.
With Cloud9 for a little bit before then moving.
Yeah, John really has popped off the last couple of weeks where he is just hard carrying.
Let's be honest, he was on a much worse team in the LCS.
All right, so when you look at the tower, you can see there's little dashes on the top health bar. Each time you take one of those dashes, it gives you plate gold. So there's plating on the tower, so you chip that away and then you get additional gold.
It happens. But, you know, Berserker, I think, still showed some pretty impressive games individually in the LCK, and excited to have him back here in the league. And I know Lion, their fans are really excited to have him here as well. Definitely part of what people are kind of calling this super team that Lion has put together. Obviously, you got
come on, Exod4392. Today is a day for hanging out, having some fun. Don't be toxic. Don't be inspired. So inspired on Lion. He is the most controversial player in Western League of Legends. He has been a jungler. This is now his 4th team, I think, in the last 5 years. He has taken his team to win their domestic titles and be MVP in every one of those. But he is a very tough teammate. I'd say he's probably closest to being like the Demon One of League of Legends. In terms of so cracked, but definitely a tough teammate.
Very, very powerful stuff. As Dokla up here in
yeah, we didn't release second. I mean, for better or worse, it was complicated relative to the full team that they were putting together that he wanted to go play with, and his contract had expired.
And honestly,
Sentinels, we play the next match. So this is Cloud9 Lion. This is definitely 2 of the best teams in the league. This is like watching the MIBR NRG match from yesterday. That's the equivalent of this. Yes, the Cloud9 curse applies to League of Legends too. Last year they had one of the best teams and missed out on Worlds by losing their last 2 matches of the year.
At the same time, he had nothing else to do bot. He just walks mid, throws out 1 heal that's like +1 potion for free. You know, that just creates this little bit of an advantage there. Dokla is getting cooked in this matchup, though. He's now down 20 CS. He has no TP. The wave was really bad for him. Nice bubble lands.
Yeah,
all right, here comes Inspired wrapping around. So the big thing on League of Legends is the one thing that's hard when you're watching the broadcast is on the broadcast we have perfect vision that in the game the players can only see around certain, like they can see around their minions, they can see around their towers, and then there are wards, which are the blue hash marks or red hash marks. It's like there's one in the pit right there. That's the red team's vision. And so teams drop those and then run around trying to kill those off. They decay over time. And so that's the biggest thing. So like right now you see the dragon pit is completely in shadows. That's what the other team is seeing.
Here for C9, Blabber still hanging around.
Wow, Dokla is getting cooked by Thanatos. Thanatos definitely one of the best top laners in the league, if not the best. Oh, Cloud9. So this is the revenge game. So Berserker used to be the 80 carry for Cloud9, and they dropped him, and now Sven has replaced him. So Berserker's out trying to get his revenge. But
still only level 5, so no play to make here. C9
this is the new blackout tee I'm wearing, yes.
I think if he was going to get 6 there, he might have been able to actually look for an instant ult mid and just
I'll give some merch away during the Sen match. I'll give some merch away today. Sentinels play the second match, so a game usually takes around an hour between the game and the draft and the the break. So a full match will take 2 to 3 hours. So if it goes 2, we will play at 3 o'clock. So we probably play either at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, depending on if this goes 1 or 2.
That's still a ton of playmaking to try to force something else right after. So I want to see if Blabber can really keep the tempo high here.
Motas Val, we do talk about doing something for pets. We'll have to figure it out.
Does not feel particularly powerful in lane. You've got the Faded Ashes.
We just just came out with a blackout version of the hoodie. We are designing another red hoodie, so we just kind of cycle red and black through it.
Just under about 500. The only other gap in the game that is
the big issue of League of Legends North America last year was they tried to merge the North American and South American leagues together. But the big difference between League of Legends and Valorant is in Valorant, like Loud had won a world championship. They were definitely like one of the best teams in the world. Crew had been to champs a number of times. So in Valorant, it's a lot more balanced between North and South America. The problem in League was the North American fans definitely were not that excited to watch more matches against teams they didn't really know. So this year it went back to just a North American league, and we joined as 100 Thieves left the league, and so today is our second match in our entry into the LCS.
These players have actually matched up as far as series play was.
So these two junglers, Blabber and Inspired, are definitely two of the best, if not the two best in the league.
Pretty heavily favored towards Inspired.
Beanies are a good idea. Somebody go at Hannah and say, when are we, or Deanna, and say, when are we getting a beanie for Sent? This would have been the perfect time to have a beanie when the rest of the world is frozen. I don't want you to be too jealous that in Los Angeles today the weather is like 80 degrees.
No one's going to say you're #1 until you take him down, because he is just the best player in the league.
Right. If you can't beat him, you've got a really shiny silver medal that you're making sure is certainly yours, but you're not going for the gold unless he's going to be in the rearview mirror, right? This is the guy you've got to pass up.
Got to steal it from the champ.
Yeah, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Dango 6057. I think the one thing we knew is going with a very young team, it was going to be much bumpier this year. I think the real key is what the ceiling is long term for that group, and that's what we have to have a little bit of patience to get to.
There of the Aurora, 95 versus 64 in the farm means that the Bunny Girls causing problems still up there in the top lane head-to-head. It doesn't really look like we're seeing a whole lot of relief for Dokla. Inspired does have his ultimate available. He is on that side of the map, but he's just clearing top to bottom through his camps.
Yeah, and the real problem against Aurora is not only that it's so abusive in the 1v1, it's really hard to gank. Like, you can go in and full send your ult as a Nocturne, and obviously you do have the stun from Renekton. Like, you have good gank setup, but Aurora can go into
Kakarot,
jump
I'll
away, bounce across the map.
I'll check Twitter
really
DMs after the match.
Hold on, Blabber goes in here, wants to try to scrap with Inspired over the chickens, but now Blabber is down to 40% HP. Inspired goes in, Cataclysm right back on top of him. Blabber is low. Blabber is down. Inspired still fighting.
What? Oh, they got him. Oh, that was rough for Cloud9. They didn't get the trade kill. Oh, he does get the trade kill. Wow, at his very last breath, he got the kill. Dexterity, what's up?
But that spell shield, he spell shielded APA's ulti, and I think that was 100% intentional, 100% reacted to. That was beautiful, and it's plays like that that make him the best jungler.
Yeah, I'm sipping on the
Blabber decides to go in.
Red Bull. You definitely need the hot
but APA,
beverages.
of course, is going to be slower to arrive because Saint has that quicker path. Once they have Blabber chunked down a little bit, they decide, you know what, we're just actually going to go for it. We're going to re-engage.
Thank you, Nibiru.
Here,
just trying to have fun.
Turn it around. Beautiful play there from Inspired. Blocks that, gets the heal, and should have been able to get out.
Hold on, we're not done. The violence continues here with the bottom.
Oh, that's big.
One more auto attack is
boom.
take him down. With the fadeaway rocket.
So this is gonna be rough. The 1v1. Oh, he missed the rocket, but he got him. So, so basically, there are 3 lines of towers across the map. You can see this one right here. And then you have to take the lines of towers down to get to the company's base and blow up the team's base. But you can only do damage to the next tower once you've knocked out the tower in front of it. This shot, you can kind of see all 3 towers in one shot. So you can't do damage to that second tower until you knock down the first tower.
Sven and Vulcan, they're now up.
And the other key thing is the minions will attack the tower. As long as there are minions attacking the tower won't attack you. But if there are no minions there and you attack the tower will then will attack you. And the tower does pack a punch.
Beautifully played.
And it was the caster minion that got the last shot, but if y'all were paying attention to the picture-in-picture in the replay, it was an Ezreal true shot barrage from the fountain as soon as Berserker respawned that shot Sven straight through the.
And a game usually takes like 35 minutes.
Got a revenge kill.
Nicely done.
You can have some that just go forever, but I'd say 35 to 40 minutes.
Again, so much pressure being kept on the Orianna. These immobile mages.
Yeah, the gameplay is pretty similar to Mobile Legends. I think, you know, Mobile Legends is a little more simple, but the basic of the gameplay is the same.
Just about 2 minutes away. Thanatos maintains control over the
We didn't get any cold weather at all from this storm. It has been some of the best weather of the year in LA this last week.
This -30, -35 spot for Dokla. But with Leandri's Torment now completed for Thanatos,
I think for this year,
upgraded shoes plus a baseline Tiamat, there's a pretty big
Ruel, Colbert. For this year, since we just got back into League of Legends, right now, certainly for the next 3 to 6 months, our focus is really on getting the League of Legends team launch, trying to build the fan base for League of Legends.
Was kind of struggling as far as his laning was concerned. But that was kind of the card he was dealt both last week.
Zeri FPDW.
Where last week against
the day's going good. This is the best part is before you play. You just relax.
Getting camped by the Vi, like it's a pretty tough situation to be in.
Orlando, it's going to be 25 degrees. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know Orlando got that cold.
But still, Thanatos has been the best laning top laner in the league, and you're playing against.
See, there they gave you a little bit of a picture right there of when the player goes out of vision for the other team.
This Corki Nami does start getting.
So I'd say, like, compared to Valorant, Valorant is so much more in terms of trying to hear where your opponents are. League of Legends is all about trying to get vision so you can see where your opponents are.
Kind of moves forward and puts that pressure on them.
So they're taking a dragon, which gives you additional power depending on which type of dragon it is. This one's an ocean dragon. It gives you healing. So if you end up getting 4 dragons, then you get a buff that gives you a substantial additional ability for the rest of the game. So getting 4 dragons is a big deal.
There's nothing left to fight, so Lion leave empty-handed.
Yeah, and that's even better.
Yeah, see, I think we missed
top and just farm plates, right? So
Nine Shadango. I think we missed out on this winter. We needed to have a scarf and a beanie ready to go.
3K gold advantage as Thanatos cashes in on some plates.
Yeah, Saint drops the shockwave there on Sven, but because
maybe next year we'll have to get Tarek to have a winter collection. We need a Tarek winter collection collab.
And C9's perfectly comfortable with things right now. The Rift Herald is live on the map, and you can see both junglers.
Okay, so the Rift Herald.
Yeah, I mean that Orianna is really strong.
You kill it, you then pick it up, and you carry it around in your pocket like a Pokemon. And then I think you have 4 minutes to drop it, and then it will take out like half of the health of a tower.
Yeah, unlucky. Yeah. But Cloud9 looking.
The problem is some people cruise around and don't get the best usage out of it sometimes, as they're trying to get the perfect drop. So it's up here in the top river, and the dragons are in the bottom river.
Snowball in that 1v1. He's farmed a lot of plates on the top side. What is he going to be able to get done with that?
See, there it is. He's starting to try and take the Rift Herald right there.
To start up this Herald.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say.
And so people will usually fight around these objectives, like the Rift Herald or the dragons. And then sometimes teams will think to themselves, we don't have the health right now or the ability right now, so let it go. There are teleports. You do have to teleport. You do have to teleport either to a tower or a minion or a ward. So you do have to have a specific destination. There we go. So, so the jungler. The jungler has an ability called a smite, which will do, I think it's about 1,500 damage. Somebody can correct me. So if the health of a Drake or the Herald gets to 1,500 or below in one shot, the jungler can take it with the smite.
So they do walk away with the objective.
Where other champions' damage is substantially less than that. So the jungler has a big advantage when it comes to taking those type of objectives. Yeah, so you can see who has dragons. So when you look up at the scoreboard at the top, right next to the clock, there's a little icon. So Lion has 1 dragon and Cloud9 has 1 dragon. So you see the little blue square and the little green, what looks like a grape. That's the symbol for the dragons.
To grabbing that first turret. and all of their towers on the other side are quite healthy.
So right now, this game couldn't be closer. The gold is 400 different. That's really nothing at this point in the game.
I was hoping to see between these teams, because it's not like they've both just been
1500 is a lot in that it's a lot more than any other champion can do at one time. So just with one click, the jungler can take it from 1500 to 0, where other agents would have to hit it 3 or 4 times. So the jungler can always just walk in and snipe it from you with their smite.
The other team is just a little bit too confident. Now we have about 90 seconds until the next Drake spawns. Drake's only 1-to-1 right now, so no serious stacking threat from either team. But I still don't think that's enough to dissuade them, because I feel like either team should have the confidence right now to win that fight.
It is 1400.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Thank you, Wario.
You can see that Saint is going in towards the Shadow Flame.
Like I said, I know just enough to be dangerous. Not that I don't know enough to be helpful.
Perhaps than Vulcan was expecting. But once that Shadow Flame is completed, it is going to be so much burst, because this is not one of these defensive slow builds. This is Luden's into Shadow Flame. This is the like one-shot you type of build.
The smite can do damage
so deadly. You can see the APA is respecting
to champions. The only issue is the biggest objectives in the game are to take the dragons. There's 2 super dragons. One's called the Baron, one's called Elder Dragon. So the smite refreshes every couple minutes, and so if you don't have your smite when an objective comes up, then you're kind of screwed the next objective.
Has got to be able to absorb that first punch and then try to win the fight in the extended play.
With the Dragon on the approach, Blabber's going to go ahead and take the blue buff there. They'll pass that off as Sven will pick it up to guarantee.
Yeah, Napa God. Yeah, I think now that we're kind of getting into it, and now that people will start to be about it, I think what we'll do is we'll do like a Q&A, and we'll like gather questions people have, and then we'll do a video where we kind of walk through some of the basics and kind of address questions people have now that they're kind of getting into it.
They're having Thanatos commit to taking this as the Herald is summoned up mid lane.
Yeah, what someone is clarifying for me is basically the jungler, as the game evolves, as his levels increase, his smite increases. I think it starts 600 and then it keeps going up throughout the game and then maxes out at 1400.
Too, so that is really good for Lion. Also, very interesting tech here from Inspired. He's building towards Abyssal, so you're gonna have that damage amp, that magic damage amp, as he's going in for the Orianna combo, right? So they're putting even more eggs in the basket here of this knockwave.
There it is. They want to jump in after the Emperor. The Seeker's Arm Guard going to buy him a moment. The Sun Disc trying to protect APA, who stays alive for now.
Spell shield
goes
again
for the shuffle, but the second time, Inspired plays so patiently. He waits on the Spell Shield. He blocks.
So Lion has more kills, but Cloud9 is still ahead in the gold because they have 3 towers and Lion only has 1. Hey, Bow.
APA EQ'd out of the fear and then ulted, expecting that the spell shield, surely during all these animations you have to use it.
All right, Cloud9.
Got to try to get away.
So
flashes the tidal wave.
You have each character. It's one of the things you have to pick. I think everyone has flash in this game. The flash allows you to move quickly, a reasonable distance away from your opponent. But then again, the flash takes a couple minutes. Is it 3 minutes or 5 minutes? Somebody give me the clarification of how long it takes to refresh.
Saint is playing really well defensively when he has no flash, and look at this, they go in here, and now watch this. So right out of the fear, this is when you expect him to actually just match. EQ doesn't spell shield, then spell shields after. Like, that is insane that you trust your own read and your own reactions, your own anticipation, whatever you want to call it, to be able to actually hold it in that situation.
Yeah, so Sentinels play, it's 5 minutes for the flash. Thank you, crazy random boredness.
That is really, really impressive from Inspired. Being able to block it like that in multiple fights, I don't know if it really mattered in that.
Yeah, I was saying Wario, in this game, everybody took flash. But yes, and at this point, don't you think like 95% of the time people take flash? Or 99%, but it is a choice you make of different abilities you have. Like some people take teleport and flash. So you have the ability to pick some additional abilities that give you a substantial advantage. So
But hey,
the teleport lets you again travel across the map.
Like you've talked about multiple times already, because Orianna Nocturne is what has to start the fight. I can't
Sleeping Snipes, welcome to the family.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we have seen Inspired have a lot of success on this pick specifically. You know, he has been really good on
Sentinels plays the next match, so it'll probably start
you know, 6.4
at 3 or 4, depending on if this goes.
You can probably say that about a lot of champions.
If this goes
this
2 games or 3 games.
Legend's pretty good.
Yep, and it's really fun. You know, we've talked about this in the past, but when you're
Dr. Newt,
like he
welcome.
is so opinionated, but he also is so well informed on not just jungle, but on every role. Like he will sit there when he's on the analyst desk and he'll talk about how, oh, this guy is really trolling the mid lane matchup. You need to play it differently like this. You need to be more aggressive at this level, or he did the wrong skill order.
Okay, Inspired going in now.
Yeah, we just figured we'd hang out and be a little bit more primitive in what we're talking about on this stream. Last week, I don't know if you, for those of you who didn't see, Tarek and Doublelift hung out together, so Doublelift could teach Tarek. We'll do some things like that again today, just because of people's schedules and Valorant playing and whatever. So today, I figured it's easier if it's just, you can ask me whatever you want to ask me.
You know what, Dokla, I'm sure the matchup wasn't fun, but just hang on, buddy. And Dokla has done that. You know, at one point, Dokla was down 50 CS. He's still down 30+ CS, but really it doesn't matter.
So I do say, as just a viewing experience as a game, I actually prefer, if it's not Sentinels playing, I actually prefer watching League of Legends than I prefer watching Valorant for teams that aren't us.
Considering enemy team is double AP solo lanes, and the most fed
the League team is wearing the same jersey as the Valorant team, so your Valorant jersey is a League of Legends jersey.
Nami with mandate and like the E damage and all this sort of stuff is going to be even more magic damage. So you know, even if Corki's hitting you, you're putting in some magic damage because of those buffs from the Nami, right? Yeah. So definitely think it is a high value pick there. A lot of them are being purchased up. You know, obviously the Abyssal has its defensive capabilities as well, but yeah,
Tashina,
is one of those items that I think is just criminally
Tashin Ahmed, 928. Welcome to the stream.
Is a lot. Like that
We're just hanging out and chilling.
Damage, and it is
it's not even a hate watch.
That has CDR on it, so his ult is going to be up more.
Last night was just an epic hate watch for those of you who missed the G2 Furia match. That's why they invented the hate watch. Was that match?
The delivery service for the damage, which is the Orianna.
All right, everybody's squaring off around this next Drake that has spawned. It'll be Soul Point if Lion claims it. And Lion does have Inspired in this bottom side river first. Dustbringer tags only Blabbers Jarvan. As skill shots fly back and forth, tracking blue buffs here. It's Inspired and Saint.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy how Furia just took map 3. It was crazy.
Inspired, flag and drag right back out like you were talking about earlier. Azale, there's your engage coming out with the knock wave. C9 scatters, they're trying to regroup in time.
So Inspired's champion, Nocturne, has the ability to turn off everybody's vision until they have, so it says nearsighted, because you basically just turns all the vision off.
So it just barely misses the Emperor of Shurima.
Inspired is taking something
as you're going to see Saint do a very similar play here.
That gives you vision in the river. It's called the rift. I mean the scuttle crab, and it gives you vision of the river. All right, so now they're going after this Cloud Drake. This is Inspired's he's gonna walk away. They didn't want to all die, so they just let them take the dragon. At this point, since they only had one, they felt like it was better to.
The problem with this
it was better to let Cloud9 have the dragon than risk everybody dying.
They really are not very strong,
yeah, it's like an Omen blind, right? Kind of, for a second, you just can't really see much around you.
It's a very different story. I really got to credit both Saint and Dokla. They created so much space for Inspired when he was ulted in by Blabber that no one was really able to hit him from the C9 side. So even though he was stuck in the
problem for Lion at that point is no one on their team is close enough to do the follow-up damage.
Was great. Saint is able to survive. They're able to get some pressure down. Berserker, potentially in trouble, but will walk away. And it's these little things in fights that aren't always obvious, but as soon as Inspired got ulted, you saw both Dokla moving up and Saint placing the ball aggressively, so APA could just never hit the guy in the Cataclysm. And these are these small things in team fights that completely
the top 3 teams are probably these 2 teams and Team Liquid. Cloud9 played Team Liquid last week, so Cloud9 won that match, which is why Cloud9's in the 1-0 bracket in the Swiss. Team Liquid plays Shopify tomorrow. This is the first game of the first match of today, and Sentinels plays the second match.
The Omni Vamp that you really get the biggest amount of it once you get at least one takedown. And now in mid lane, there's your knockwave yet again. Inspired.
Ooh.
The delivery system finds its way to the Corki, and
This
Sven
is
is
big.
down. Blabber has to go full retreat now, lest he be
So
caught
at the
in
top
same
half of the
trap.
river
And with the enemy
is
marksman out of the
the
picture for more
Baron,
than 30 seconds,
Baron
Azrael, I
Nashor,
think the call is
to be
Baron.
formal.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Baron, though, is very scary to take because everyone in the Baron pit, around the Baron.
So when you're
it's not just the
attacking
person
the
that
Baron,
takes
it does
gets
damage
that
back to
magic
you.
Debuff. So, when you are going up against
Yeah,
the
they were
Aurora
just
and this Azir, it is super
went in
frightening,
to
and
see if the other team would come check.
Dokla coming around for a flank. APA over the wall.
Oh, Napagod, who
tries
won
to
the
follow, takes about
Las
half his
Fortunas
HP
match?
in damage. Tidal wave flows through, but doesn't hit a whole lot. C9 scrambling as APA again with a stasis tries to get over the wall. Flashes.
Yeah,
to
Baron
safety,
now
would not
gives
have
you
had the time to try
less
to use
gold
the E to get over the wall.
and
Dokla would've been able to stun him,
takes down your
so he
shield.
has to
So
go for the
Doublelift was saying on the
action
stream
there with
last
Flash.
week
C9
that in
will
fact
stop
now he
Lion from
thinks
securing that
any
Baron for
Dragon
himself, but it does
Soul
cost some
is
resources.
more valuable than the
Definitely
Baron
does.
buff. Like he said, it's not even
Baron's
close now.
just
Where it
no
used to
joke
be,
now. You
depending
really
on the
do take a lot of
situation, you
damage,
might want to
especially
take
against
Baron.
these
But
APTs.
he
If
said
you get in
now
that
it's
pit,
very
everyone
much
gets
you want
debuffed
to
by
take the
Baron.
Soul instead of the
You
Baron.
can just get AoE'd down pretty easily. But at the end of the day, they got that kill, they put on some pressure, they force a flash. Those are all great, but it is just the 800 gold lead. It is 2-2 as far as the Dragons are concerned. And we are just having an incredible game one. I think, some people did have some questions about
This is
how
so
Lion's
close.
going to look against C9.
So the
because
longer the game
Dignitas
goes, the longer
series
you
wasn't
die
as
for.
convincing, I think, as people
So
hoped. There's
early
some
deaths
moments where
aren't
you're
nearly
like,
as big a
Dignitas
deal, but
actually
you
gonna
lose
win
a
this.
team
team
fight
that
after
had a
30
full
minutes,
bot
you're
lane
dead
so,
for,
in
I think
the
it's
bot
45
lane,
seconds.
And
so at that
especially
point, the
game
other team
two,
can
it
do a
really
lot
felt
of
like, hey,
damage on the map.
Maybe Dig is actually going to win this before Inspired just took over on the Pantheon, kept finding Photon on these flanks, kept making these big plays as you expect him to do. But then, we have C9 who had taken down TL on the other side, and that was kind of the #1 power ranked team.
Yeah.
But both of these teams, as we can see here, did have kind of some moments in those games.
Yeah, the potential almost losing Baron while nearly 10,000 gold ahead is definitely something that's going to rattle faith for fans of Lion. Meanwhile, over on the other side, it was Team Liquid that was ahead of C9 for pretty much a full half an hour on Summoner's Rift, but then once that throw happened, C9 never let them have the game back. We remember the follow-up
So in a
mistakes the
minute,
jungle
there'll
from
probably
TL
be a
with the
big
match
team
with Johnny.
fight
It was a little bit
because
silly, but
both
still,
teams are going to want to get
C9
that
was ready to
third
punish.
Drake and make
So
sure the
for
other team
Lion,
doesn't
I
get the
wanna see
third
them
Drake.
not
So
make those types of
we will definitely
early
have a
game
big
mistakes that resulted in a
battle. So
10,000
until then,
gold
people are
Baron
very much focused
surrender
on
towards Dignitas,
setting up
because I think
visions
that
to
if
make
they
sure
make
that there
kind
aren't
of a
big
mistake, C9
pockets
is much
of
more
the
likely
area
to
around either the
I
Baron
agree,
or the
and
Dragon
I
that they
feel like
cannot
Lion
see.
looks a lot more locked in, though. Whether it's something like, sometimes you're playing a team, you expect to beat them, maybe you're not as locked in, maybe you're underestimating Dignitas a little bit, you get a little bit fast and loose, you try to make some big plays.
Yeah, Waru, I don't know if
People
you
were
saw the
talking about
content we did
Berserker,
with
that flash in
Golden
the
Glue,
1v2
where he
in
watched
mid lane,
the
they're trying to make a
reviews
big
where
play. It's like, well,
Cadrill,
why do you do that against top
because
teams?
Cadrill's very
So far, they've
opinionated
been
about
very patient,
drafts,
they've been very measured
where Golden
in their
Glue
play.
watched the
Inspired just continuing forward with
the
this
VODs
build,
of
has the
the
Rooker.
drafts from
It's gonna be
Worlds
really
to
tough for these magic damage
review
dealers to actually
Cadrill's
knock down,
review of
and
his drafts.
it's
It
gonna
was
be
pretty
a
fun.
lot up to Sven
It's
to
on
be
our
able to do
YouTube
that,
channel.
but the real plan
On this
here
one,
is send the knockwave on Sven
at this point, I
every
think it's too
single
early in
time,
the year to
and if Sven dies or is out of the
really
fight,
have an
there's
opinion
no
on who I
physical
want to
damage
win or
kill
lose.
Inspired.
I don't have those
Level a lot of that
generational
off.
hates
So,
like I do in
that's
Valorant.
kinda how I look oftentimes at these one physical damage threat teams is if you can put the pressure on that guy and push him out of the fight, well, all the magic damage is going to struggle to deal with you after that.
Yeah,
All right,
pretty
so
tough
now
for
is when
Aurora to burst somebody
we're gonna
through
have
Abyssal Mask
something
and
go
Katie
crazy
Brooker
here.
and the spell shield, right? Like that Nocturne is going to be rather evasive. 2 dragons to 2 so far, 31 minutes into the game. Next Drake is live on the map, and both of our teams are squaring up for position. Inspired will be the first to start this off. Does have the level 16 Nocturne. Blabber
Yeah, the
also
schedules are
with
tough
the
right
final
now, and then in
result
2
here on
weeks
the
there'll be a
Jarvan.
gap
As
before
Lion are
San
going to try
Diego
to
where
drag
the
the
League of
Drake
Legends
towards the
playoffs
upper
will
half of
happen
this
for
river.
this
Dokla's
tournament,
still on
so
the
there will
backside
be
of the Drake pit. Thanatos
it'll stop
having him
crossing
marked,
over.
chasing after him, trying to
All
make
right, so
Dokla
both teams are
second
going to
guess
kind of
about
jockey
entering
around.
this
I'll let
fight.
you listen to the
Blabber
casters
GA
for this
as well,
fight.
which could be really big.
Okay, Dokla flashing with the dominance. They want to try to engage onto Thanatos. The Aurora is bursted low, but he gets away between worlds for now. The Mystic Shot's not going to kill him off. Thanatos staying alive. Dokla's dominance still isolated from the rest of the team. C9 looking to push back forward towards the Drake. Lion looking for their opportunities here, but all of the ultis are spent. There's still Cataclysm, there's still Emperor's Divide for C9. They know they've got these tools, they know they have more resources to work with, and it allows them to claim the objective.
I mean, that was ridiculously close. They almost burst down Thanatos. He barely got through on that ulti to hop out the other side. Then he went between worlds, he went into that W, hopped out. I think he got tagged by the Mystic Shot, but the Nami heal kept him alive through it. So it was very, very close in that moment to being able to knock him down. But when you commit that much and you don't kill him,
yeah, again, Lion in the early part of the fight just decided they didn't want to risk dying. I mean, Inspired is definitely one of the smartest, if not the smartest player in the LCS. So I think making those trade-offs of saying, do we fight for this Drake and risk everybody dies and then they just get a massive lead, or we let them have this dragon? But Lion went ahead and decided to let that one go.
Just makes it so much harder to finish off these kills, to be able to lock people down. There's that potential of just getting kited out, which is going to make things a lot more difficult. Because again, I just feel like Lion is all about that first punch, and C9, if they don't...
Yeah, it is wild in a big team fight how much the casters say. It is craziness.
Same place it's been in for about 20 straight minutes now, Azael. Just 1,000 separating the teams.
Thank you, Cheeseburger. Sometimes I just don't have the time with everything else going on, but today was like a perfect day.
Hourglass for both mid laners. The Guardian Angel you already mentioned for Blabber has not been popped yet. Top laners don't really have any big get-out-of-jail-free cards like that, but you do still have the Maw Shield for Dokla's Renekton. Over on the other side, Bloodletter's Curse completed for Thanatos for even more of that damage.
I gotta get my League of Legends game back in a little better shape. And then I can definitely stream some League for noobs, because I am definitely a noob.
Clearing out the Scuttle Crab here, guaranteeing some vision over the bottom side. And now that Inspired has hit his power spike with all of these items completed, remember the MasterCard is rewarding card holders with their chance at $50 in RP. You can head on over to priceless.com/powerspike or click on the pin link in chat for your chance to win. Complete your own full build.
Sounds good. Make sure you go register for that right now. APA, C9 trying to set up here around
Thank you,
that mid lane.
Sakurai.
And the poke not really mattering too much. Vulcan doing a good job just kind of constantly healing them up through any poke that Berserker can land.
What percentage of the names do you think I get right?
You have to be pretty
like half?
Careful about C9 getting
or even
access
not
to
that many.
Baron.
So Berserker also almost has his second tier fully stacked. Vulcan in some danger now. The burst, though, not quite enough to kill him off.
So right now, almost any death will lead to a lot of damage to your teams. Everybody's being very cautious.
I don't really think that matches the Ezreal, but who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, second tier.
Never be too sure.
Nearly fully stacked. Yeah, maybe it's the new. So I remember double blue Ezreal from back in the day that caused tier items to have to be changed.
I mean, he used to build every blue item. He built the blue jungle item. He built the Iceborne Gauntlet. He built all the tier items. He built anything that was blue. He was buying it.
Spirit of the Elder Lizard. Forever ruined by Ezreal. Yep. I'm going to have a vendetta against Ezreal until the end of my days because of Spirit of the Elder Lizard. But Lion is...
a blood feud.
Yeah, exactly, man. It runs deep. But Lion right now, they know they've got 2 minutes left on the clock, and they have to be able to stop C9 from getting that Cloud Soul for the reasons you talked about earlier. What's the game plan for Lion knowing that?
I mean, I really think
this is the Red Bull flavor. This better stay. I'm going to just have to have a whole stash of this. I'm going to be very sad when they don't make it.
That C9 is getting there first. They seem to often be the ones that are kind of taking control.
Because with the special flavors, I think based on how they perform, they then rotate them in and out. So there will definitely be a time where it goes away, whether it's for a short time or a long time. I'm just going to have to not share them with the staff or players and just have it stocked up in the back of my office.
Because Lion... these last couple ones just has not been able to really get the perfect engage and zero out a kill.
But this is a crazy game where it's so even and both teams just know one mistake is going to end the game.
Flash from Thanatos. That's actually a pretty big summoner spell for Dokla to force out there as Blabber goes in. Inspire tries to find the counter engage here, going for the back line of C9, but Inspired is now low. The Nocturne trying to escape as Blabber looks to maybe follow it. Thanatos and APA. They have plenty of damage, but nobody's in range.
35 seconds to the Drake. That's the timer in the top left corner.
Critically, that time, we did not see the knock wave combo go off. It was just the Nocturne flying in alone. Saint was not there for the follow-up.
Exactly, because they were putting pressure on him, so he went into his Zonias, and I think the ball maybe tethered, or maybe it was just that was right during that Zonias moment, but the pressure that Blabber put onto Saint made it so he couldn't actually follow up. And then when you are going this tank-style build, that is the downside. If you do not time that combo,
Navigod is all about Cola. All right.
At this point of the game, you are a zero threat as that Nocturne. You are just the delivery service. That is it.
All right,
here we go. This is eventually there's just gonna be a big fight just gonna break out right here. There we go. I'm gonna let the casters
start up the Drake. C9 has control over the pit. Dokla popping the dominance, tries to go in, finds Thanatos, knocked up into the air by the bubble, but there's your knock wave! Falcon's already down. Lion continues pressing forward, and Dokla's got the kill on Thanatos. The Croc about to drop, but Blabber doesn't have the damage to take him out. Inspire's right on top of the Drake, and APA is dead. Lion rule the river, and C9 falls to pieces. Sven's gonna get procced by the fear, and he's down. Everybody on C9 except for Blabber hits the dirt, and Lion holds the line.
Big play there for Lion. Look at Dokla here, goes in, perfect bubble though from Vulcan, saves him, but at the same time, it's the flashbacks. Sven actually kind of, I think it was on him, he kind of betrayed the team. Someone flashed there as the Nocturne ulti was coming in, but it wasn't timed perfectly, so tried to flash the combo, didn't time it well, pulled the combo into the rest of their team, and ended up making it this AoE engage. This was key though from Sven, turns around, knocks down Berserker, because without that, they would have lost Baron off of that as well, and it could have been a game-losing play. But damn, still
those
a huge
green
play
dots
for Lion.
that Saint is eating give you some of your health back.
We are 3 dragons apiece. We are going the maximum amount of dragons here before Soul.
Isaac, can you do me a favor and check the cooldown on the ultimate for Inspired?
It's been a fun game so far, but it's two teams that know they're even, and so nobody wants to make a mistake. It's been a very cautious gameplay. Didn't turn into any kills back and forth, and then the ulti was ready to go again by the time everyone was repositioned to fight over the Drake. These Nocturne cooldowns are so short, it's very easy for Inspired to try to make these plays and go fishing for these opportunities.
Yeah, has a good amount of ability haste, 30 ability haste, plus obviously he has the ulti ability haste on top with the experimental hexplate, so effectively 60 ability haste, for that ulti.
Is he running Ultimate Hunter as well?
I can check on that for you. Yes, he is.
Okay, so
and he has 5 stacks, so 91.
So 91 ability haste on his ultimate specifically is a lot. 47 seconds is
that character Inspired staking in the river gives them vision right outside the Baron pit.
So Inspired and the rest of Lion now
Nocturne is a great champion when played well. Like watching Owner from T1 play, Nocturne is just the most fun.
So he had the IE, we saw how much burst he's able to put out. Now he has the GA, so the targets are becoming few and far between. That is, we might have to see them try to change his one-shot Nami at the start of the fight or something like that, because it's Zhonya's on APA, it's GA on Sven, it's GA on Blabber. Like, there's not a lot of good targets now for this one-shot, so we'll see. Sometimes it still is best to just try to one-shot this person in the GA.
So because like where APA and Thanatos and Blabber are right now, the Lion team can't see them, so they'll go stand there and hope the other team walks into them, and then hope to stun them, and then kind of start the fight that way.
In this late game situation, it really feels like it might all come down to this next
so
dragon
teams
here
will constantly
in 2
kind
minutes.
of drifting
I doubt
back and
anyone's
forth,
gonna be
trying
brave enough
to
to start
lure the other
in
team.
the face of the other team. It feels like a death sentence, so I think we are probably, barring a mistake, waiting that 2 minutes for this Cloud Soul.
All right, just a little bit of NA RAM here.
Thank you, Ghostfax.
Middle of the map as everyone clears their menu.
We're just hanging out today for the next 2 hours watching Cloud9 Line, and then Sentinels plays its second match.
Nami just kind of heals off everything.
You can look at the damage stats at the end.
You got to pad the stats so that you can screenshot the graph at the end if you lose, and be like, how did I lose this one? Riot matchmaking, please.
And if you win, you look at the end of the graph at the end.
I think Zekken's like playing the same role Redux is playing, where sometimes he's playing Smokes and sometimes he's playing the double duelist.
Well, we still got to get to the end of the game first. 41 minutes in this first one.
So basically what'll happen soon is there'll be one fight, and now people will die for a long time, that the game might just end if a team kills 4 of the other team.
But we do have Lion looking at the job in front of them here in less than 90 seconds, and it's trying to secure that Cloud Soul. Nocturne with a Cloud Soul is so scary. You talk about if C9 got it, it makes it that much harder for Lion to accomplish their mission and chase down these targets. You are never getting away from Nocturne after he ults you if he has Cloud Soul.
It's Serpent's Fang coming in from Inspired for a little bit of tech. Obviously, there are some shields, potential Ares shield, the barrier shield. There's the E from.
So the Cloud Soul helps you move faster, and it gets you your ultimate faster.
Probably more likely just what you can afford going into this
next
fight.
And so with the Nocturne, who can move far across the map to engage on you, it really helps him just jump on you without getting ready.
Like you said earlier, it's not like you've built this entire time to have attack speed and true DPS or whatever. This is just, okay, the most impact I can make for bringing their health bars to 0 is this. This is what I buy.
And Berserker, you know, does have that tier fully stacked, the second one, but has not elected to spend the money on that just yet. Okay. So he is sitting on, you know, 5 items plus boots, not at that true.
Yeah, the Ocean
7-item
Drake
build
gives
right
you
now,
healing, the Infernal Drake gives you more
Sven
damage.
Is on the other side.
All right,
Yeah,
I'm gonna let the casters take it over here because it's about to
so
get.
He wanted to evolve the Whisper into Sorelda's Grudge first. Vulcan throws a bubble into the brush. As Thanatos going to walk in there. Dokla is spotted on the ward. They know where the Croc is. As soon as he's tagged with the weirding, he goes into the dominance. True Shot Barrage flies through, but it only hits Sven. Now Saint could be in a little bit of danger here. Inspired trying to find Sven. Dokla now on top of the AD carry from C9, but it's going bad for Lion. They've already lost Saint. And Dokla's Guardian Angel will not keep him from the gates of hell.
GG.
A shutdown goes to Sven, as Lion have already lost 2 men, and C9 are looking for a Dragon Soul.
Yeah, that may be the straw that breaks the Lions back here. This is going to be the Soul. It's going to be probably the Baron right after it as well. As Lion trying to look for these clever angles on the engage.
Dokla is still dead for another 40 seconds.
A lot of work though.
Yeah, Berserker's trying to make something happen here. Blabber goes forward, forces the flash out of the AD carry for Lion. And yet Dokla, it's one of those cardinal sins about wrapping deep through the enemy jungle looking for the flank. You've got to have a sweeper or a control ward or something. Because as soon as they saw Dokla, they jumped on him, they punished him, and Lion wasn't able to answer. Now it's C9 going after the Baron. Saint is still dead for 10 seconds. Dokla's still dead for 15.
They're
Nobody on Lion is going to stop anything
because if they lost that fight, they 100% lose the match. So they're making that balance. So the Baron buff lasts for 3 minutes.
Dokla got spotted, but then Saint was kind of over here. They were trying to set up for a knockwave combo, but Saint got spotted, I think, by the sweeper, and they just immediately went back in. His shockwave, when it came out, was very late and hit nothing. You know, he Zonia'd, he flashed out, and then the Flag and Drag got him away from that shockwave. So Blabber doesn't get hit. We are back to live, and yeah, it is dead even as far as the gold is concerned, but that is not showing the stats from the Baron. That is not showing the stats from the Soul. Just even the flat move speed is so powerful on that Cloud Soul. Yeah. To me, that is where most of the power is. There's not amazing synergies as far as, you know, move speed on their ults, besides maybe like Aurora or something, but we'll see if Lion can navigate a comeback here, because this is going to be really, really tough. Saint is split pushing top.
It's League of Legends, which is a lot like Dota.
So Cloud9's just going to play through one lane. They're just going to try to barrel down this bot lane, and if Saint doesn't recall really soon, that inhibitor is just absolutely gone.
Exactly. Lion's saying we think that the best thing we can do is try to create distractions in side lanes, and C9.
So when you have the Baron, it increases the amount of damage that your minions and your cannons do to the towers.
They want a full set with Sven and Blabber, as Inspired is now super low on HP. They're almost ready to kill the Nocturne, but they can't quite get the
Saint's
DPS.
Still going.
C9 is demanding a response from the solo laners of Lion. Saint finally completes his recall, but the first Nexus turret is already down. Lion can't find their opportunity.
That was bizarre. One of the Lion players was trying to do damage to towers while his team was losing its base. That made no sense. Like, they were fighting that 4v5.
Pull a rabbit out of the hat there. They take the game, but damn, I feel like Lion way overestimated their ability to actually get back and defend that. When Nocturne ult is spent, when the Orianna is still split pushing, Ori comes back, there's no ball delivery system, there's no threat. They kept their soul laners on the map so long.
It was a long battle in game number 1. Chat, let us know who you think your player of the game was. We're going to hear from the analysts and see if they have the same opinion.
This is so close, actually.
Oh my
God. The game itself was so close, and they kind of won that one on a dime at the very end.
Yes.
Yeah, it was basically these two team compositions. Who engages first and how does it happen, right? Because you have the one with the like ultimate wombo combo, the Nocturne Orianna, however that's gonna go. We saw that work out. And then if it gets disjointed, like say Blabber gets a really good J4 ult in.
APA's to the bathroom. Go, go, go.
All right, chat, I'm going to be right back, and then we'll talk some more. And yes, the VCT is starting in 7 minutes. Sentinels plays the second league match today. So if Cloud9 wins the next, we would go then. Or if it goes 3, we'd start at 4 o'clock. I'll be right back.
Yeah, the fact that you're pushing Blabber outside of the pit entirely makes it so you get a free dragon. The double kill goes there for Ezreal. They push out Zen. Now Zen does get a kill on towards Berserker.
I think they end the game through bot if Zen doesn't kill Berserker there.
Yeah, that's possible. Actually, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So the fact that we were getting so many close back and forth fights,
which is why I voted for Sven for player of the game. We'll see if he wins it. Okay, C9 fought back. So Emily, talk through why this fight was different and how C9 was able to win.
So this fight is different because it's really disjointed. You'll see Dokla is going to be looking for a flank. He gets spotted out. Thanatos is on him. But watch where Blabber ends up, right? He ends up going right on to Saint. This breaks up that kind of ult combination that you'd want. It separates the fight out, so C9 are able to clean this up, and this gives them Cloud Soul and, crucially, the game.
Yeah, with how well the Knockwave fight went, when they just
you are really trying to push the Knockwave.
Well, that's what Captain Flowers was saying, Raz, if you listen to our broadcast.
True.
I'm a working man, all right? I'm a working man. I don't got to hear the peon.
But why were they so spread out like that? Did they think that maybe Sven's 6-item build and the Azir were too strong, that they didn't feel confident diving through and they thought they had to flank? Because I'm surprised they didn't just try to straight up fight them again.
That's fair.
I think trying to eliminate Sven was really important for Lion as well, and they kept looking for these Dokla flanks. Like, it worked out before, right? Where he just popped Dominus, front line, C9 would end up scattering, and then they'd be able to target who they wanted. Speaking of, our first player of the game is Sven.
Sven gets it.
I think it might have been Berserker, but they didn't win.
Yeah.
So he's on his way to reset between the next game. But no, we also know Dokla, he talked to us previously that he thought Aurora was a fake counter.
Yeah, he did.
So I'm not sure if that was a real graphic. I think, for what it's worth, he equalized it. He equalized it by the end of the game. So that was fake graphic, just like Aurora's a fake counter to Renekton. But player of the game, congratulations to Sven. Chat, thank you for saying Sven. Your vote did not count.
Sven?
Did they actually say
We'll
Sven?
see. We'll get information
they have the poll.
Okay. They agreed to
go
that.
Sven.
We were discussing whether or not we were able to get this as part of. So the way player of the game works is all of us and all the casters vote on player of the game.
Yeah.
We might push to make chat vote count as well, especially if they're as accurate as they are now.
Shout out to the Vulcan voters as well. I almost voted Vulcan myself. I actually thought his Nami was like really, really good. He was landing a lot of very crucial bubbles.
Yeah, I think the late game fights definitely helps for Sven. For me, I went towards APA because I felt like he was consistent throughout the entirety of the game. I felt like the late game fights were actually working out for him as well. The early lane was very, very painful for Sven and Vulcan. It was like a 30 CS deficit early. Obviously, you go to the end of the game and it doesn't matter at all. But I feel like the consistency is one thing. So I'm aligning with the Blabber and APAs.
Well, I will say it's a hard game for APA to play. Because Nocturne with an Abyssal Mask on side wave, anytime you're trying to match the Orianna, you're just going to have to concede push the whole time. He ended up dying once to it.
He did.
What do we got?
Put that out there.
Wait,
this is Raz
give him this.
Boom.
Darkness.
And also Berserker in the early game. Double tier, and I like money.
I can't see it. I can't see it.
You can't see it. That's supposed to be
turn it.
Boom.
Yeah, turn it forward.
Wrong one. Bang.
Okay.
I like money. But he needs to like winning.
Game 2 is next. Line looked good. Not good enough.
On the Rift here today. Emily, is the Telluride just the obvious pick?
Well, Flowers, we're looking at a turbo hybrid powertrain. That's already a problem for the rest of the Rift.
And a 30-inch panoramic display too? That is unfair control.
Guys, all-wheel drive with terrain mode? No shot anyone's catching this.
Yeah, this seems completely OP.
No debate. This first pick, we have to lock it in. Now!
The Kia Telluride Turbo Hybrid. Pick it before your opponents do.
Red Bull gives you wings.
All right, I'm back. All right, so yeah, Sentinels plays next. It's a best 2 out of 3. So I guess we're rooting for Cloud9 now, so we can get it finished, so we can go next. There's a reasonable gap between each game because the draft probably takes 5 or 6 minutes each time. So that adds some time to it. So you go Dignitas versus Sen. Next up. Yeah, that was a game that you could tell both teams know they're even. And so they really didn't want to take the big risk. But then they kind of came back to bite Lion because they were being a little too cautious, and then the game just kind of slipped away from them. Dignitas, I don't know if they have their full roster, so 2 of their players were still waiting on visas, so I don't know if they got in and are playing today or not. If they are playing today, they haven't had a lot of practice, so Dignitas right now is definitely the team that is probably the softest team, but, and like I said, also create bigger problems for the fact they don't actually have their players. NA League of Legends and Valorant do play in the same arena. So what they do is on the days they play, the same, one plays in the stage with the audience, and the other plays in a smaller stage without an audience. So the first week of Valorant was on the main stage. Last week Valorant was in the backstage. Today Valorant's on the main stage, and League of Legends is in the backstage. So they kind of go back and forth, and then there'll be a gap of where after the kickoff is played here before it moves to San Diego, then the LCS playoffs will be going on. So there'll be a gap where then LCS will take over the stage for the final rounds of the playoffs. Uber Eats, they're making me hungry for some Hi-Ho cheeseburger. I may have to have some Hi-Ho today. So Sen played Disguised Toast last week and did not win. We won map 1. It was a fun back and forth match, but ultimately we did lose.
Congratulations, APA, on winning the first player of the week of the season. And I guess overall, this is your first player of the week?
Yeah, first player of the week overall.
Since this is your first player of the week, I'm going to give you a little rundown. We have 90 seconds. Quick questions that I'm going to be sending your way. If you don't want to answer them, you can pass and we can continue to move on, but I feel like you have answers to all of these.
Okay.
You ready? All right. 3, 2, 1. Best nickname given to you?
Captain America.
That's a good one. Cleanest C9 member? You can also include yourself.
To be honest, I don't know. But, because I share a bathroom with Thanatos, but me and Thanatos are both pretty clean.
Okay. Who's the dirtiest? Call him out.
Blabber's desk is normally pretty dirty.
Most overrated player this split?
Zinni for sure.
Oh. Most slept on?
Sven.
Biggest personal pet peeve?
That's like lack of effort.
What is a domism or an aneroism? Something that they harp on constantly.
Well, like, we'll always in for one of the crabs. So that's always like a review point from Dom.
Yeah.
Is why we're in over this crab. And that's probably going to happen today on stage sometime. We're going to in for a crab, and we'll review it. And then the next game, we're going to in for the same crab.
Yeah. You're going to love the next question. What's the bigger flip, Oddcon or the 6-minute scuttle crab?
I mean, the 6-minute scuttle crab for us. Like, it's literally like the most important objective on our team.
Yeah. You can play in any period of the LCS. Which player are you wanting to play alongside the most?
Can it be against? Because I never got to face Bjergsen.
Okay, that's a good one.
My time, so if I could face him, it'd be pretty cool.
And I guess the last one is, it's going to be line related. What is a weakness you guys feel like you can exploit versus Lion tonight?
Just our new team. Like, you know, you can see versus their series in Dignitas, they were not extremely clean. Like, almost losing game 2 to Dig.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty pathetic.
You want to give me a prediction then for today's series?
I think we should win. I think we might drop a game because I do think Lion is good. Mm-hmm. But I think we should win. So 2-0 or 2-1.
Thank you again, and congratulations on winning your first player of the week.
Of course.
So that's APA. He's now Cloud9's mid laner. He was Team Liquid's mid laner last year. He had a really good 24. He had a bad 25, so they dropped him. And then Cloud9 picked him up. And then last week, Cloud9 played Team Liquid, and he popped off. So it would be somewhat like... See, it's not really Zekin level, because Zekin had a great year. It would be more like Zelsis shows up, and we play Cloud9, and Zelsis pops off next week. That would be the comp.
I think Lion thought, okay, we're going to be pushing 2 lanes. They're pushing 1 lane. They're going to take our inhibitor, and then they're going to have to base and defend. And,
yeah, there's no question that John, the last 2 matches, like, Asuna said it about the match, where he's like, John was just playing at level 13 all weekend. Like, the play where I think he was in a 1v4, and he sniped the guy trying to defuse, that was wild.
and it was just kind of cooked. You have no more threats at that point.
So you can see the 10 champions in the middle, which were the 10 champions played map 1. So those are now, you can't play in maps 2 or 3. So those are now banned for the rest of the series. And then you get 5 new bans. So you ban 3, you draft 3, you ban 2, you draft 2.
So this one's going to look very similar to what you've seen for years and years and years at this point. C9 going to go ahead and ban out Malphite, Nico, and Lulu. Meanwhile, Lion is going to ban out the Jace, the Varus, and the Ziggs.
It's really interesting because historically, you know, blue side has always been really, really OP with first pick and everything. So all the
I saw somewhere that Demon 1 wasn't going to play tomorrow for C9.
First pick and no one's going to
so that'll be interesting since they're playing G2 if Demon 1 is playing or not.
Last pick has actually been doing a lot better.
But as I saw a report that Oxy was back.
The blue side. So pretty interesting. It's actually pretty counter to expectation for most people. It can sometimes just be a meta thing where, you know, if there's a lot of counters available and less OPs that are just blindable, then generally first pick is kind of just weaker than last pick. But it is interesting to see that it's just a little bit of a surprise to me.
Well, whenever I see a team select last pick as their choice, I am then in judgment mode. I'm putting on my powdered wig, I'm grabbing my gavel. If you are not picking a good, meaningful counter for your last pick that can't just slot into somewhere else.
I'll be the guy that yells, "Order in the court," when you bang your gavel.
Fantastic. You can be my bailiff.
Yeah.
And then that means we are going to judge this last pick. I don't want to see some BS that could have been picked on first or second rotation and not change anything.
When you go Ornn 5.
Yeah, Ornn 5. I'm not
with his head.
I'm not looking for Ornn 5. But we have a Pantheon first pick here for C9. They're going to go ahead, lock in Cassante and Taliyah with it. Pantheon, Taliyah, we know how that combo is so deadly. Over on the other side, they lock the Rumble and the Vi. So Taliyah not only working well with Pantheon, but being denied from working with the Vi.
And it looks like Lion are basically just going for the same style of composition that they did last time. If they lock in the Ahri, Vi Ahri, it's a similar kind of dive style that you would see. But considering some other options, so we won't get into it too much unless they do lock it down. But I mean, it would make sense alongside the Rumble and the Vi, and it is locked. So yeah, I feel like they're basically doing the same thing that they did last game, right? And they had the Knockwave combo last time, you know, with his aggressive top laner. They're going for, you know, a similar style. It's full dive, it's send it on the back line, and that is what Lion has opted into. I always feel like from this point, you want to ban out some of the picks that are really strong defensive picks to mitigate that. So I immediately think of like Renata and Braum and champions like this. Or if you want to target the AD carry, I think of safe AD carries. Ezreal was already played last game, but like Saya and things along those lines that are going to be really, really safe and difficult to dive. Those would be the kind of picks that I would want to deny. Vulcan's also a really good Bard, so this can make sense. You can also do, you know, Bard ultimate defensively as they are Vi ulting in and kind of use that as like a Zhonya's. But I'm going to be curious to see, you know, if they ban out some more of those kind of safety picks and if Cloud9 opts into them if they're available.
All right, C9, what's it going to be? Are we going to look at the supports? Are we going to look at the AD carries?
They did it last game. That's my assumption, that they're just going to ban out Berserker.
Okay, well, Yunara is the first step in that plan, and they will remove it.
They could ban out, you know, Felios if they want to take away another crit marksman. Obviously, you're going to need some sort of consistent damage to be able to deal with, you know, Rumble and kind of that, the Cassante and that sort of front line. So, you know, wouldn't be surprised to see more kind of crit marksman getting banned out.
Yeah, both teams have a true bruiser-style jungler, but C9 has a very tough frontliner, whereas that just does not exist on Lion's composition in these first 3 picks. So I'm curious to also see if Lion really wants to go for that AoE engage on the support role. Otherwise, it's just like, it's just Vi. We do have the Xayah banned out, like you were talking about, one of those safe marksmen that really just Vi hates her life playing against Xayah because it's so easy to just ult her ult.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Ezreal, Xayah, to me, are always the premier defensive AD carries, right? They are.
Yeah, it is so complicated with the new roster.
Is meta. I feel like Tristana is actually kind of in
like I said, if you look at NRG last year, right, they went through some very rough times in kickoff in stage 1, and then came in second stage 2, won Worlds, and now they're one of the top teams. So that is our hope, is that this new roster, when it starts to gel, that you've got a really young core who the coaching staff feels like has a ton of wild upside. So that's the hope with Valorant.
Like, hey, what do we care more about? Stopping Nautilus with the engage or stopping
with League of Legends, a little bit of a combination.
I do feel like you need that sort of consistent TPS.
We have two players, Impact and Huhi, who've each been in the league for about a decade.
Crit marksman who has that consistent damage that you're talking about, but at the same time,
3 other much younger players. So
he also has the range
that'll be the key. If the old vets can help guide the young kids, and if they can be rejuvenated.
Something else might be able to.
So yeah, hopefully Cloud9 wins so we can get to the Sen match.
Good contribution from range before you full commit onto things.
Infernal Multi is just dopamine as well. That's always the one I want to press.
It looks cool. It feels
yeah, it's always tough. Fans are always wanting to win, and sometimes you got to take a step back to get better long term. So
right, like that was the origin.
That's what we're hoping.
Years. As Lucian Braum, okay, a tried and true staple here for C9. Braum, one of those defensive champions that you were talking about, that's great at impeding what a dive comp wants to do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's interesting because I feel like the draft in the second phase kind of went to chalk of everything I was kind of expecting, right? You're targeting some of these defensive tools that they could have to really shut you down. And on the other side, you know, they're deciding, how do we want to shut down Berserker? Do we want to take away the double crit marksman? They only take one, so he takes away the other. And this is interesting. So it's going to be Renata here for Isles. I mean, there is obviously some dive from the C9 side. You can deal with Blabber and whatnot. But generally, I feel like Renata works way better into comps that are just like full hard engage. And
thank you for the love, sleeping
C9
snipes.
is going to be more in the camp of kiting back, because Lion's comp just naturally has to hard engage, right? And I don't think C9 wants to like opt into that. I'm not saying they're never going to go for a pick, but it can be difficult. Obviously, the other perspective is we full send it. Vial,
so they go very fancy in League of Legends, where a number of the coaches wear suits.
Up and kind of like trying to defend this and whatever. And
they do not recommend the suit wearing, and so our coach is wearing the Sen tee and a windbreaker. But a number of coaches do wear suits in League of Legends.
If they're kiting back, it's really hard to get value out of Renata. So that pick does surprise me as the 5th pick. But
yeah, Cypher 17, I don't quite understand what Jonah P's status is, because he still shows on the G2 roster.
Were correct, you know, was it better?
And so he's said comments about it, but it's unclear to exactly what his status is. So it is a little confusing as to why he still shows up. Like if you look in the contract database, he's still listed as being on the G2 roster.
Setting up the stun for the shove, but the macro
want to play. Welcome.
And Pantheon for the C9 side, using Weaver's Wall and Grand Starfall together to create those numbers advantages, whether it's at, you know, the setup for a neutral objective or just a play on a side lane. I feel like those two champs have such huge synergy on multiple levels. It needs to go right.
So you're telling me Dokla's not going to have fun again?
I feel like this should be
Sleeping Snipes. The next time we do a watch party, you should cruise up. Because whenever we do a watch party, we always figure out some combination of a meet and greet with the players.
Comboed 300 meters backwards into Eternal CC. And then
yeah, no, I think you're right on the suits, that it definitely comes out of some of the Asian regions where they're a little more formal.
Yep.
But yeah, I just want my coach repping the merchandise.
Some gold off the Cassante before he dies 50 times in the sideline. And maybe
hey, V Juice Box 21. Thank you. Sentinels plays the next match, so this is the best 2 out of 3.
Rumble, Pineapple, I think it's pineapples that he shoots in this skin.
Is it coconuts or pineapples?
I'm pretty sure it's pineapples.
Something tropical.
Yeah, on his back, it looks like pineapples. Yeah, because they've got the little green thing on the top. Okay. Coconuts don't have a green thing.
That's true.
Yeah,
and pineapples taste a lot better than coconuts. I don't know if that's a hot take.
No, I agree with that. Pineapples are delicious. Coconuts taste like guilty water. Water that did something wrong. It's just not. No.
I've never heard it described that way.
Not a big coconut fan. Yeah. But we do have. I am a big fan of fun, competitive League of Legends games. I think our first
nice transition.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got right out of that.
Came up with that one on the spot. But we got a first game that honestly spent what, like 35, almost 40 minutes, not even being 1,000 gold apart. Like both teams were really just
like that.
Blow for blow in game number 1. I hope we get a whole
yeah, we do host some Valorant watch parties.
You know, if we do want that 3-game series,
and especially like this year where stage 2, the playoffs are not going to be in LA, so we'll like do a watch party then. And we're working with Red Bull right now to try and do a watch party somewhere, hopefully in New York, first part of San Diego. So hoping to both have watch parties in the office and then to do some watch parties outside of LA as well. Like we had a great time at the Toronto watch party we did during
And when Talia gets in towards Rylai's, if a fight starts going bad, there is no disengaging because you're just getting perma-slowed by Rylai's and chased down by this ghosted Talia.
Okay, let's see what our junglers are up to now that the lanes are thoroughly underway. We do have both of them clearing
So
out their
Inspired is
second
taking
buffs,
what's
going
called
to
the
that
blue
top
buff,
side into
which
bottom
gives
side
you
clear. We'll see if they end up
power
wanting
you
to
need
move
to stay out on the
towards that
map,
bottom lane at all.
called
It is a
mana.
pretty serious
If you run
push
out of
from the
mana, you have
Lion
to
duo,
base
which means
or
that
take the blue
Inspired
buff.
feels empowered to take this bottom
I think
side
maybe the honey fruit. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Does the honey fruit also give you some mana?
Turret, so he heads towards the top crab.
Yeah, there's pretty much
it does
no
give you
way
health.
You would
I feel like it
expect
also
them to
gives
get
you some
dominated
mana.
in that 2v2. You know, when you do have that range support advantage, Braum is going to have some difficulty for sure. But Sven and Vulcan just farming it up, and not really a difficult lane in the same way that the last one was. You may have to seed push. You might not be able to look for aggressive plays. But last time against Karma Ezreal, they were kind of getting smacked around. You know, they were down a lot of CS early. And it was kind of this tale of Thanatos bullying top lane, and Berserker and Lion were bullying that bot lane. This time, it's just kind of an even farming situation. But Sven did have to recall and run straight out. And it's also worth mentioning that APA did use his Ghost on his first recall just to get
in that
back
pit that the Baron spawns in and the Rift Herald spawns in. I don't even know if we even saw it last game, where there's something called the Void Grubs. And when you take them, it helps you do additional damage to towers.
Into the turret. Now Inspired does just hang around this area a little bit longer. Did not want to go for another recall. Instead, just waiting on the Krugs to respawn so he can do another full clear. So both junglers still just kind of mirroring one another's actions as Dokla maintains the push up here in the top lane. But honestly, Thanatos still is the one with the higher farm, so the Cassante is perfectly comfortable here.
Yeah, Cassante's got to be really happy with that. I mean, that is one of the difficulties of Rumble. If you are not playing this champion really well, it's so easy to mess up your own CS. You know, with Flame Spitter Harass.
Just cook him on accident.
Exactly. You're just kind of cooking him, and then they get to weird health thresholds, and they get killed off by the enemy minions. So that can happen, and being down 9 CS is not the situation you want to be in this early. And we're going to see Thanatos already has that cloak, so he's already building up a lot of MR here at this point.
Okay, junglers, where are we going? What are we doing here? We're both farmed up to level 5. Looks like we are going to get recalls out of both Blabber
Dokla falling behind and farm again. He has 37 versus Thanatos 47. So in the middle of the screen next to the player names, it tells you how many minions and cannons they've killed, gives you a sense of each player's gold, and then there is a scorecard of gold in the very middle. So like right now, Thanatos was 60 gold ahead of Dokla. Early on, that much gold doesn't really matter. The key is getting enough gold to buy an item, and so that's when you get the big jumps.
Going up against his own team, going up against Quid, who had been the person who replaced him, right? He had this really big standout performance, not even just statistically, but made some really big plays, and was so happy with how that turned out.
All right, bottom lane, Vulcan and Sven stepping up here, trying to square up against Isles and Berserker in the 2v2. Berserker does have the white gun, very good for scrapping, but Gravitum there with the purple, not quite as useful. APA goes in, Unraveled Earth into the seismic shove. No, Blabber wanted to get the stun, but the shove had already missed. Now C9 trying to get themselves away as Blabber will be the sacrificial
that is
lamb.
not what he wanted to have happen there.
First blood over to Lion. The charm misses, trying to make it a 2-for-0, but Lion will happily walk away.
Because Lion's going to get the double combo there of getting the first kill, and then also on the back of that getting the first Drake, because they killed C9's jungler.
First blood goes over to Saint.
C9 threw a lot of resources in trying to get that first kill and whiffed.
They kind of just did the combo in the inverse way, where it was like APA threw the seismic shove, and then Blabber
Wait, the red buff and the blue buff have names? I've never heard the casters use those names. So I've never heard the blue sentinel before.
It just kind of seemed like APA just sent it a little bit too early. Blabber needed to be closer to be able to flash stun and then guarantee the seismic shove out of it. He sees, oh crap, the seismic shove is coming. Blabber's like, I gotta get there. Tries to go for it, but it wasn't perfectly synced up. Isles had a great flash as he sees that flash come in there from Blabber. And then once that was used, he's just going to get slowed down and
that was so rough there. That's a tough way for this to start for Cloud9.
Kind of accidentally
not great for my hopes that this went 2 and the Sen match started fast.
Over and got that kill.
And I feel like sometimes these champion combinations that we laud and applaud so often can turn into a double-edged sword like that, because you know, oh yeah, if we work together and we do our combo, it's just free money. But you get a little bit too hypey, you get a little bit too anxious trying to make that play and force that play, and then you bungle it. And you end up being the ones who give your opponents something free. Lion, again, happy with that first Drake. No contest thanks to that. First blood already on the board. And it doesn't come at any cost.
Yeah, do you want to play? I think part of it just depends on how the scene develops. Certainly the mobile games historically have been huge in Asia. And so that's why we haven't typically gone into the mobile games. But certainly we would be looking at it relative to Valorant, since we obviously have such strong presence in Valorant.
Heading towards those, Lion will be happy to use that aggressively.
Yeah, they absolutely will. I mean, he was in a great spot last time on the Orianna, you know, and he was really kind of like a pivotal part of a lot of their success when they had it in those team fights. So we'll see. You know, obviously we talk about the mistake from the side of Cloud9, but also Isles is deserving of credit. Like, his flash was super fast. As soon as Blabber flash W'd, he already had flash, and it's kind of one of those things where it's a same time thing, so you just end up stunned, but out of that seismic shove. So credit to him. I think Isles is one of the pieces that was kind of overlooked when people talk about, super team for Lion. They're looking at Inspired, Insane, and Berserker, and not so much talking about Isles or talking about Dokla, who obviously came in as a replacement for Zamudo. They wanted to play with him, couldn't get the visa. That really sucks for Zamudo. But Dokla had a great Worlds last year, you know, really impressed a lot of people, so he's going to be a good fill-in for them. And, you know, we'll see if Isles can kind of change some minds about him, because Isles, you know, has had some teams that were kind of expected to be a bit better. For the most part, he's played on kind of like lower ranked teams, lower ranked rosters. This is an opportunity that he has to really prove himself, right? And it's going to be exciting to see if he can kind of change some hearts and minds about how good of a support he is.
Well, we've got Blabber taking those grubs right now. He will go ahead and secure the first two. Inspired is nearby, but it should just be Blabber getting all three grubs, so there's that. Again, it's the same story as game number one, where first Drake goes one side, all three grubs go the other, so pretty even split on our first objectives. But again, grubs are a down payment objective. You do need to have the ability to have some pressure on these turrets for those to really pay dividends, and we'll see if C9 can get that for themselves, because there's still 5 plates standing there in the top lane, still 4 in mid lane, and I believe 4 down here in the bottom lane on the Lion side. So C9 haven't had a lot of push. They haven't had a lot of chance to really put the work in on those structures yet.
Yeah, I mean, look at Thanatos' build. He went double Negatron, so that's not going to build into anything.
124 MR.
It is going to give him a lot of MR early, so it is going to delay his first item power spike, but it does have a lot of flat resists here. You know, we're assuming one of them will be a Koenig Rookern, and then we'll see what he wants to do with the other. But, you know, definitely going to be not getting bullied by Dokla anytime soon. Did not elect to go, you know, into kind of some of those more aggressive builds, but is just trying to withstand that onslaught and doing a great job of it. I mean, he's up 20 CS right now, which is incredible in this matchup. And yeah, the gold is pretty close because first strike gold is going over and whatnot, but he's got to be really happy with how things have gone.
Yeah, I feel like if you're playing a tank into Rumble and you're winning in CS, you don't even care if it's close. Like, you're already doing what you need to be doing. You're perfectly confident. Going into the fights as well, you talk about the double Negatron cloak, but he also has a chain vest in inventory too. So it's not like he's just going to melt if the Aphelios or the Vi starts hitting him. So should be plenty durable if he needs to come to one of those objective fights, the next one of which will be in 30 seconds for the second Drake. It's a Chemtech Drake, which generally has the lowest priority of all of them. Do you think this is even worth fighting for both teams, or it'll mostly just be, all right, you can have it?
I think it's only going to be one of those things where they go if they think they will win the fight and they want it as a tool to start the fight, right?
Okay. The Drake itself isn't the point.
No, I don't
Welcome,
really think it's a big deal whatsoever. So
Ben
we'll see if
LOL.
there is a fight breaking out. Might be here.
Okay, immediately Saint and Inspired going in after Sven. They charm him up, but they can't quite burst him down. Beautiful protection coming in from C9 as APA and Vulcan come to the rescue. Inspired's going to be knocked out to the bailout, and Lion have overplayed their hand.
Bad news for my dreams of this going too.
Forward for the Winter's bite, and APA picks up another grand starfall coming in from Blabber, but Isles is able to escape for now. Here with a flash follow-up from Blabber's not going to allow him to get all the way home. Send the news of their demise. Lion go behind enemy lines, and they aren't coming back.
All right, Cloud9 turning it around.
Bad ban, but Braum looking pretty strong in some of these fights, man. And a lot of this went wrong before the replay.
Lion went way too aggressive. So the one thing that teams do early on is trying to have a fight in between the other team's turrets. A lot of times that does not work out well. Because, like, the guy who died there took a shot from the tower that was a key part of him dying. So that was not the best move.
Because they connected so many of those Qs.
That's so bad.
And Inspired's acknowledging the play was not
that was
the execution
definitely
they
not
were
a good
looking
play
for,
there
and
for
certainly
Lion.
not
Got
the result that
way
they
too
wanted.
over
Their 1-0
ambitious,
game now turns to
which
a
is good for the
1-3
people who
game
want
favoring
a fast
C9.
2-0.
Gold's still very close overall, and this bottom lane tier 1 turret for C9 is still very low on HP, which is why APA is still down here protecting it, making sure the minions get nowhere close.
And credit to APA, very fast.
So now we can just fully root for Cloud9 so we can get to the Sun match.
Sven and Vulcan were super aware that this could be happening and reacted so well to it. If the Q flash hits, I think he just insta-dies, and it's a completely different story. But the fact that he doesn't insta-die and he gets to channel a full culling into Inspired, who spent his flash, like that was game changing.
No.
They just fought to the
You
death.
don't like to see that.
Yeah, was not expecting this to go all the way to the zeroed out health bar. And APA even hitting him in the all chat right after. What are you doing, freak?
That was just not a good play.
The freak is crazy. I mean, it's honestly kind of similar to the death that Quid had to APA last week, if you remember that.
Yeah, at this point, we're just rooting for the match to be over. Like, they're both the teams that are in the 1-0 side of the bracket.
Getting auto by APA until he died.
And probably very even teams, so
thank you very much.
So they're putting up right now the screen called All Chat, where the players can trash talk each other live in game.
For just speed over accuracy with the typing, he's in the moment, he's feeling it.
And so somehow in League of Legends, people like to trash talk their opponents, like APA is known for it.
Yeah, I mean, the seismic shove connects right at the same time as the charm. Saint, I thought he was just going to back it up. I
don't know why he comes in here.
Like, oh,
that made no sense.
But he just went straight back in. Does hit the charm, but it was too little.
If that was our player, I would be so on tilt.
Takes him down. Saint opted into it, thought he could outplay, not able to make it happen. And APA is one of our few NA mid laners here. We have a lot of Korean imports in the mid lane, some of the strongest players, and a lot of people talking about how guys like APA and Palafox and Darkwings aren't going to be able to match up to these Korean mid laners, to these top level players. Well, so far so good for APA. I think he was solid in game number 1. I think he was stellar last week against Quid, and he has shown that he is not to be messed with.
Yeah, this guy is scary down there, man. Now 500 gold up, 2-0-2 on the Talia. Blackfire Torch has the fully evolved tier 3 boot. You can see a very similar build for Saint, but his quest is not yet complete. Saint actually the one player on the Rift right now who still does not have.
So teams will always try and put their vision right around the objectives. So if you see in that pit where the Rift Herald is, there's a red ward and a blue ward. So both teams are trying to keep track of if the other team is trying to take it.
Slow, the Q slow, the passive stun, like there's so many ways for him to be able to apply it, and it kind of turns him into a mini enchanter.
Okay, nice seismic shot from
Uh-oh, come on. I like, thank you,
it,
Saint, for trying to make this game end fast. Oh my goodness. Because Cloud9's going to get the kill. Now they're going to come take the Rift Herald. And so this will help them get the first turret if they move quickly, and you get a bonus when you take the first turret.
Everybody likes it because you're stacking concussive blows.
Yeah, look at Thanatos' build, by the way.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is just, okay, Isaac,
he's
what
just
tanks like in
3 people chasing him.
Damage.
There we go again.
Build a shield, a tank needs a shield, and then
so there the key was they forced him to flash. So while they didn't kill him, forcing someone's flash is basically, oh my goodness, no way. Come on, Lion is just trolling. Okay, now Cloud9 is going to use that Rift Herald, take the turret.
The tier 1 turret falls. Tier 1 turret's about to die in the top lane at the same time.
Wow, and they're taking the top turret. This is a big Cloud9 snowball right now.
Dividends are coming in, and C9
okay, C9 suddenly has a
3,500
gold lead at 16 minutes. You should definitely be able to snowball this because Cloud9 can now spend that gold to get upgraded items to do more damage or to have more shields.
This is going to be really tough.
So Cloud9 is definitely in a good spot to snowball
when
this and end this game. That's the dream.
Dive comp, like there is no fallback for Vi Ahri Rumble.
The dream is just a fast game and a 2-up.
And when you were behind, it is pretty tough to one-shot them. We already have a Seekers coming through there for APA. You can already see a cloth armor for Sven, so he's at least going to getting tabbies or something kind of defensive to be able to keep himself a little bit more safe. Obviously, Cassante is tough. There's the E for Pantheon that can kind of absorb all the damage. Braum is going to be blocking all the follow-up. It's just like, this is hard.
Sven just sees Thanatos' inventory. He wants to have some of that kind of
The
fun,
absurd. You have the
He
Sen
wants
mouse,
to build
always
some
a goodbye.
resistances. Sometimes that's all a man needs on a nice weekend afternoon.
This is going to be like a record for latest item completion. You know, we used to do the tracking of
the fastest.
He's going for the slowest.
Hey, man, a world record is a world record. It doesn't matter how you achieve
He's
it.
out of inventory spots, so the real problem is he has to build something now, you know? He has to make an item. Unless he wants to sell his boots to buy another cloak, which I would respect.
Honestly, you got to sell boots to buy another belt. Then you have 2 of each defensive item. Full build! And then you're full build. Inspire tries to go in after APA, who immediately drops the stasis, flashing back out, trying to survive. Vulcan will be your sacrificial lamb, but a nice stun
Can they
onto
trade
Inspire,
it? Can they trade this kill? Yes, they can.
But it ain't gonna save him. Make it a 1-for-1. Lion sent the whole damn kitchen sink, but now it's Thanatos looking to make some renovations. He's not gonna find his way to the kitchen just yet, but C9 will happily trade 1-for-1 on that one.
I mean, that was a 4v2 for what felt like 20 seconds, and they could barely get through the Braum. So things are
Cloud9's gonna get another tower.
And, I got an update from production that after APA trash talk Sentinel chat, Berserker had to mute him, so he forgot.
They now have a 4,000 gold lead.
He's like, crap.
It's a lesson you gotta learn real quick. Yeah. You gotta block him in the in-game chat. You gotta do it fast.
Yeah, I just think the key from the gold lead is since APA and Sven both are over 1,000, then you start to be able to get to an item threshold.
Until that cooldown is up again. Luckily for the side of Lion, there's no Dragon for 3.5 minutes to play for. Baron's gonna be live here in about 60 seconds. Even though C9 has a 4,000 gold lead though, you talked about it a bit last game. Baron is so deadly. It's still pretty risky to try to rush him at 20 minutes.
Yeah, and you know, for Lion, well, Thanatos has less things in his inventory now.
Oh, true.
So that's a plus.
Oh man, he combined 3 of his things into one thing.
Yeah,
I've
so
never
that is
been
less
so disappointed at an item completion. I really liked his inventory.
Yeah, I was loving it.
All right, Jack Show. To be fair, Jack Show is kind of the spiritual successor to the inventory that he had because it's a little bit of everything, right?
Yeah.
So I'm
just build 5 Jack Shows.
If he has to complete an item, I'm fine with it being this one.
If he gets another belt, I'll forgive him.
Get another belt.
Get another belt
keep
next.
Building this nonsense.
Keep building Jack Shows.
The entire time, there's nothing but Jack Show. How do you even put
Casters are just trying to fill some time right now. No one's doing anything.
Yeah, exactly.
It is the one thing about League of Legends is there definitely going to be a window of time where no one is.
Duct tape, some ingenuity.
No one's doing anything other than just farming the minions. Do I ever watch the Sen team practice? I do. They actually practice right outside my office, and then they have the scrims playing on the monitor in the conference room. And then sometimes I'll have a meeting with Golden Glue during the scrim, and then we'll kind of chat until like it gets to a key moment, and then I'll watch some of it in his office with him.
Make sure you sync them up. They're gonna have to. Part of the VOD review this week will be doing like the army drills. Your left, your left, your left.
By and large, I'm just kind of annoying the coaches, asking dumb questions.
The wheels fall off.
You're ready. All right, C9, they're trying to take control over the enemy jungle now, placing down some vision, trying to make this map very, very scary for anybody from Lion, just trying to go out and farm.
So is that right now that Lion can't see the Cloud9 people who are tucked in that space, and they're hoping that someone from Lion just walks in and they just smack them fast and kill them before they realize it.
In case anybody goes after APA, but everybody on Lion is just shadowing.
Sometimes the champion will do that because they don't really have anything else to do on the map, so they'll just kind of hang out and see if the other team just walks into them.
They're just going tier 2, mid, as well as that bot push, and Dokla on top.
Uh-oh.
That is just
R.I.P. Dokla.
Stepped 1 inch too far forward, and C9 sat him down and showed him why you can't do it.
Yeah, that is
C9 is definitely playing a crisp game here. Very clean. Let's see if they can keep it up. The one big problem in League of Legends, when a team starts to get a lead, they definitely tend to overheat. That's definitely a League of Legends thing. Like that right now. They had a big lead and immediately got picked off. There was no reason he died there. And the problem is when somebody who hasn't died and has a gold lead, you get more money when you kill them.
Yep, a little bit of an error does get hit by that charm.
So as soon as I said overheat, within 15 seconds, APA died when he shouldn't have.
So he will have to back it up, but not before grabbing 2 plates. And Cloud9 fully in control for now. It is going to be Cloud Soul once again, and they'll be looking for this 3rd dragon for sure. I mean, Cloud9 is just going to be so confident about really taking any fight whatsoever at this point of the game.
It's not a second Jack Show.
That's a worrying trend.
APA is going to come back just as the dragon spawns. So that was.
I feel the unending despair.
Well, we still have a chance.
The question is, can Lion actually punish it and get position in the river?
An unending sandwich where the Jack shows are
Cloud9 just has such a big advantage that they're just keeping him pushed back.
That's the new item for Cassante. It's a secret unlock.
All will be forgiven if he goes for that.
I hope he can hear us right now, as Berserker just wants to hear the sounds of that turret crashing down up there in the top lane. Nice equalizer from
Vulcan's character Braum just walks around with a giant shield that he can stop damage.
Without a trade back from C9.
It's one of his abilities, just to pop a big shield.
Lion bringing that gold lead back down to just under 3,000.
Yeah, Lion's kind of given up this. Yeah, Lion just realized they were so far behind. They're like, this is not when they're going to want to fight for that dragon.
It is a Cloud Soul Rift. Very scary stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough for them to deal with. And Lucian, not only is move speed good, but it is one of these champions where just like the actual burst of move speed with the culling is really annoying. Yeah. You get tagged by Winter's Bite, and now all of a sudden you are getting chased down by someone with rockets on their feet.
It's problematic, man. It is such a big deal. In case y'all missed it, that power spike moment means that MasterCard card holders can click on the link pinned in chat for their chance to win $50 in RP. We've got our Lucian with Essence Reaver, Infinity Edge, Navori. This dude is so
the problem for Lion
right
is, given that Cloud9 keeps getting turrets, that if Cloud9 wins a big fight, they'll be able to smash into their base pretty quickly and end the game. So they are kind of getting choked into a very bad spot.
Pantheon and Braum and
so if Cloud9 can avoid another one of those blunders like APA made and just play clean, they should just be able to kind of walk this game to the finish.
And honestly, Renata is kind of doing what Renata I expected from Renata against this kind of composition. I just feel like it's so hard to play Renata into a composition that is kiting back, and I feel like that's always going to be what C9 is wanting to do.
Yeah, it is the funny thing about the game is so the team doesn't get rewarded as much for killing the same person over and over and over again.
Walks slower than some champions do, right?
So the question always when somebody starts Baron is are they actually trying to take Baron, or are they trying to just force the other team to come by and check? And so they force Lion to use one of their teleports. But they're going to just take it because they didn't get here in time.
C9 on the retreat right now. Saint and the rest of
that was kind of perfect for Cloud9. They both got the dragon and Lion burned a teleport. I do have a favorite champion only because I'm just so bad. I can play Maokai, so I'm basically a Maokai main. Because I can be helpful without being that skilled. Like I can just run around, throwing.
Run the entire rift. Even if you don't break the base, which I feel like is also unlikely, you still have total control for the setup over that next big power spike.
Yeah,
the ult for Maokai is maybe one of the easiest ults in the game, where you just roll a river down the lane and stun people, so it's easy. It's hard to whip.
Immediately ready with the stasis. The charm can't hit him, and now the TP's ready to back them up. C9 trying to punish
Lion. They got the pincer.
Here's the Weaver's Wall. Winter's Bite already drops down. Where's the Glacial Fissure? Wall again defending from Vulcan. Defensive equalizer from Dokla. C9 continues pushing forward as Lion has to get everybody out. That's Flash from Dokla. Flash from Isles. Flash from Inspired. Thanatos goes in for the third in Topo strike. He's not going to find it. Gets back away with the Pathmaker, but now Vulcan is in danger. Vulcan and APA both low. Lion fighting for their lives, trying to cover their own retreat here. As C9 now backs away.
When you have the Baron, you can base faster. I think normally basing is like 7 or 8 seconds. But when you have the Baron and buff, I think you base half as fast. So normally when you click base, your champion is sitting there on the rift while you're basing, where you can be shot. So having the Baron buff lets you base faster than you normally can.
But that's the two big carries.
Those are the ones that really matter. And APA just bought a death cap off of that recall. Another really big spike there for Cloud9.
So APA, who's the mid laner for Cloud9, just was able to buy it up an item that does a lot more damage. So right now, Cloud9 is in a spot where they want to get a fight because he definitely has a big advantage in this team fight.
If APA didn't actually use his Zonias that fast and immune the charm, that could be a completely different fight. So it's a good swing there, and it does waste some of that Baron buff. But now C9 back to the scene of the crime. You have to think this tower is going to go down.
Back to the scene of the crime for even more crime. The sequel is even better than the original for
Double
C9.
Jeopardy, can't charge them twice.
Oh yeah, they've got this one taken care of, no problem. Tier 2 turret falls, C9 up 5,000 gold. And between all of the praises that we were giving him giving Inspired last game for his timing on being able to spell shield APA's Azir shuffles, APA now has the chance to pay it back with the timing on these stasis plays, and honestly, he's doing a good job with it. Weaver's wall to buy the opportunity to fire into the turrets here. The tier 3 line under pressure as that bottom lane tier 3 turret is about to collapse. Double cannon minions empowered with Baron, nearly enough to bring it down. Berserker does clear out that last cannon in time, but C9 is not done yet with the siege. 20 seconds remain until the soul spawns. The Baron just now expires as they force down the tier 3. So C9 takes this opportunity. They got exactly what they needed to. They broke the base defenses with the last wave of Baron. Now they control the Drake.
See, the other key is when you're way ahead, like Cloud9 is, they can get rid of all the vision in this section of the map. So Lion can't know, is Cloud9 taking the soul, or is Cloud9 waiting for them in the darkness? So a lot of times she'll take 2 players to go take the dragon, and the other 3 will kind of give some show so that you don't think they're taking it. But yeah, they're...
Can you walk in blind and actually try to take that away from C9? If you walk in blind there, you're going to die, and they will just walk down bot lane with that open inhib and probably end the game.
Bottom lane is Australia. Inspired is having a nice Canadian vacation right now, not going anywhere near where all of the crocodiles live. That crocodile is claimed. Now APA stepping up towards the brush, not going to hit Inspired with it. Immediate stasis yet again.
Well, this is big. This is Lion's chance to win a fight, but are they just too far behind is the problem. Because Cloud9 got into this fight 2 people down. Now the question is, can they clean it up? Because this was not a good fight the way it started for C9. Yeah, that was a bad fight for Cloud9. They got to get one of these guys back.
Sven is still looking to salvage this, but a huge play from Lion. Gets 3 for 1.
Yeah, and how much more can they get? You know, that just took about 2-3K off of the gold lead, and there's bounties up. Berserker's going to farm
these. No, it was definitely an int by Cloud9. Like, just getting picked off by yourself and not knowing where the opponents are. So APA, again, made another mental mistake.
This is one of the very unique champions
like,
in the game.
The biggest issue when you have the lead is just keeping track of the opponents, because your downside is, like, he actually knew, oh, Inspired baited him there. Like, Inspired was pretending that he didn't know that AP knew he was there, but he wanted AP to engage on him, and then his teammates just came running in. So APA definitely fell for Inspired's trap there. Like I said, Inspired is definitely, he might be the smartest player in North American League of Legends, because he just baited AP into a dumb play that now gave Lion hope. Because otherwise, this game is almost over, and APA really injured there.
Yes, there's still the Cloud Soul. Yes, it's still going to be difficult, but Lion's showing they are not out of it just yet.
Because now it's only a 1,200 gold lead. No, it's effectively more than a 1,200 gold lead, because when you have the soul, everybody has an advantage. So depending on the soul, people estimate it's worth 3,000 to 5,000 gold of benefit to you. So even though the goal is relatively close, the Cloud Soul is still the one big difference. But that was quite a mistake by APA. Because he opted into a fight he didn't need to take that led to 3 people dying.
A lot of people, a lot of Lions fans were expecting them to be up at the very top and to be, you know, looked at as a real title contender. And, you know, this is an opportunity for them to kind of prove everyone wrong. Say, hey, you guys have us too low. You know, we're taking down C9, C9 BTL. You know, that means we should be up at the top of the table. But, you know, if you do get 2-0'd, you know, people are going to be kind of having those feelings reinforced that they're not yet on that same level as the C9s and TLs potentially. So it would be huge if they could come back in this game.
Labber and APA waiting, seeing if there's maybe a play to try to make here. Vulcan, Glacial Fissure doesn't find a whole lot. Just a knock up there onto Dokla. Inspired in the chicken pit. Doesn't see any reason to go back in there, as Lion have already claimed the tier 1 turret in the mid lane. Gold lead now less than 1,000. It's a fair
Nothing tilts me harder than watching a team than when they opt into a fight and they all die, and that's what APA did. Like, APA opted into a fight that was a losing fight because Inspired just suckered him into it.
Any chances they might get. Berserker tagging APA there with the Gravitum means he's able to get that extra little bit of damage with the root, as Lion continue posturing aggressively. They're not afraid. They don't have to be as afraid as they were for what felt like the last 20 minutes of gameplay. You do have the Guardian Angel up on Sven. He tries to drop the culling, forces the Spirit Rush out of Saint's Ahri, who's still looking to maybe try to get some value out of those second charges. Vulcan throws up Unbreakable. Saint still looking for a little bit more. Last Spirit Rush is expended, so the Ahri much less threatening now.
Yeah, it's a 52-second cooldown, so not that long. But C9 are going to try to force. They know Ahri is pretty worthless without ult, so they're going to say, you know what? You have to fight us now, but there's still a lot of risk here going in towards that Baron pit.
This could define the entire game right now as Lion tries to step up. C9 not putting a ton of DPS into the Baron here just yet. Grouped up as 5, Equalizer down over the top. Not a ton of damage here as Vulcan's blocking a lot with the Unbreakable, but he has to flash away or else he's going to die. Lion looking for their chances. Weaver's wall to block any further pursuit. C9, they lose most of the HP on their support, half the HP on their jungler. Blabber has no Guardian Angel and Lion's got full health bars. Vulcan recalling right now, trying to go back to base and heal up.
C9. What are you doing?
Baron about halfway dead already. C9 are now the ones tasked with stopping the objective. Lion called the bluff, and C9 are now forced to scramble. Baron down to 3,000 HP.
That is crazy.
And Lion are going to take the Baron. And
this
take
is
the
not
lead.
going well
done.
for my.
Out, and C9 kind of
this is not going well for my dream of a fast duo.
Really
APA.
The difference was perfectly placed by Dokla. You know, even with the Guardian,
they had such a winning position. And then he greeted for a kill and just got suckered by Inspired. Like, Inspired is just that guy.
Then Inspired tries to go for this Q flash over the wall. Not able to find the Q flash, unfortunately, for him. And that's twice this game where he has whiffed. Rare mechanical errors from Inspired, but that Equalizer softened them up so much that C9 didn't have the confidence to re-engage. And look at Thanatos just getting chunked out by Berserker. He is really strong.
Okay, so the next objective is up is the Elder Dragon. And it gives you dramatic additional damage potential for 2.5 or 3 minutes. And so that fight is coming now. And that will probably determine who wins the match. Oh, that was big. Oh, they didn't get him. Now he's going to go base and try and come back.
No TP, though.
Saint is low. He has to go back to the base. He can't teleport back into the fight. They forced him out for now, but Vulcan is also at death's door. Lion are going to start up the objective.
Yeah, Vulcan's going to go back, and he recalled way later and didn't have the empowered recall, of course. Now he's just canceling. He's realizing, you know what, I actually can't leave. No. So Vulcan's going to have to take the fight at 20% HP.
Vulcan's going to send Glacial Fissure and die. That's pretty much the lot that you are dealt if you're going to fight with this much health. C9 still posturing around the area, keeping an eye on Lion.
Cloud9 has one player who doesn't have much health, and he keeps debating whether he should go back or not.
Back in the base. Here for Lion, trying to clear out the massive wave of minions. APA trying to fire a couple of skill shots here into the Tri-Brush. Elder alive, but he's quickly running out of patience. He'll return to his home as Dokla clears out the wave. He's going to
so the Cloud9 player Vulcan was able to base and get his health back and get back to the fights. That worked out.
Still at about 13K. Berserker, very slow damage onto the objective. C9 on the approach once more. Vulcan back to full HP. Thanatos tanking the Elder. Saint coming around on the flank, looking for the pincer attack. TP coming in. Lion has all 5 players here. C9 has all 5 players here. Elder Drake down to 7,000. Weaver's Wall going to cut off Lion. Inspired charging up the Vault Breaker as Thanatos and Blabber go into the back line. They're looking to force Berserker away. The Dragon's still at 5,000 HP. Thanatos looking to put the pressure on, but he's already down. Resurrection coming in here through the Guardian Angel. Berserker wants Inferno multi. Blabber's on the front line. He's about to be dropped into Guardian Angel now as well. Lion running. C9 staying alive somehow for now. Only Thanatos is truly dead.
Yeah, Thanatos is down. He will have TP, but he's not up for 45 seconds. C9 needs to try to delay. They only knocked down Inspired, and he just lost the GA. Berserker was so low, but didn't even die. Blabber's going back to base, has no ult, so he's rushing out, and Lion are right onto the Elder.
Lion starting this up. They burned it down to about half HP. C9 have to force them back. There's no jungler here for the C9 side, but a nice seismic shove! It's APA and he found Saint! Now Dopa's gonna try to find some damage right back the other way. He lands a couple. He's trying to kite him out and he finds a second kill. Berserker looking for his way into the C9 lines, but no! Berserker gets knocked into the Guardian Angel. Blabber jumps back forward. A triple kill over his man. Berserker's alive, but the spear is ready to find his heart. Double kill over to Blabber. Ace, C9.
That's going to be the game.
They're just going to end the game right here.
APA
That's it. Wow, that was a crazy fight.
Most finds the seismic shove to win the game.
The week 1 player of the week, the mid laner on a brand new team. Right when it looks like C9 might have fumbled game 2, APA finds the seismic shove. It's a faster one than game number 1. It's a Cloud9 2-0, and they're gonna love the way this week 2 looks.
What a finish to that one. Explosive game, too. It looked like Lion was just going to get blown out in the second game, but they made some great plays, able to pull themselves back in it, keep it really close. But when it mattered most, your APA finds that seismic shove onto Saint, gets that kill. All of Lion had to pull off, and that created the chaos that
really
allowed
tried to throw that away, but they snatched out that last fight.
We look back to the first blood in bottom lane where Blabber and APA aren't on the same page. It feels a little rough. But then APA getting the solo kill on Saint in the bottom lane, talking a little trash after, finding the game-winning play onto Saint later on. He's got to be my player of the game this time around. Let's toss things back to the lounge and hear what they've got to say.
Thank you, Captain Flowers. What an ending. We're going to have Sven. As soon as he packs up his stuff, he's got to run over here. Someone's got to grab him and bring him over here for this interview because we want to talk about this series. It did actually look like it was going to turn back in the favor of Lion after Berserker got so much gold, but C9 really clutched it in that final fight.
That was ridiculous. APA's catch was a big one, but he's been online the entire game for me. Like the constant fights that he was able to find, the catches that he was able to find versus Saint. I was looking at Saint specifically for the series to see if he would be able to perform because I feel like you're going up against C9, which in my mind is the best team right now in the LCS. He had to be able to be the one to perform. I thought APA got his number the entire time.
Yeah, and it felt like one thing I did like from both APA and Blabber is like, oh, they messed up the combo on bot side initially, right? Lion come out ahead of that. They keep trying it. They kind of looked more coordinated as the game went on. And then, like you said, Raz, finding that APA finding that catch that led to that final fight. But the two stars of that final fight, I mean, the big star was obviously Sven. Right?
Yeah.
Popping off on the Lucian, and then Blabber able to come in at the very end.
Hit.
But I mean, the very beginning of that fight, which you're going to replay as soon as Sven gets here so he can help walk us through it, was the Vulcan Braum Q onto Saint that allowed the flick to start this fight. Sven, get over here. Get over here. We're gonna immediately run.
New chairs too for you.
We're gonna immediately run this final fight because that was a bad.
I'm gonna run for a second. Watch the final fight and then send match starts next.
Berserker got so fed in that game. It seemed like such a problem, and then you were also didn't have Thanatos.
I don't say I thought I was lost, but I kind of like felt like, oh shit.
Yeah, so when APA finds this catch, like, what are you guys thinking here?
I thought, thank God.
So then Berserker's caught an elbow, but just you're gliding on him right here.
I'm kind of cranking in this fight, yeah. I mean, Lucian Braum is really good in like a non-5v5. Like, you know, like a split, like 2v2 here, 3v3 there, like kind of fight where like you can just keep hitting someone. But I think we had such a big lead, and then they had a big lead in the last situation there, and we were like we're down one man, and they were like low HP, and they had Elder like on 4k HP. Yeah. If I just stand still and maintains the flank without, you know, getting flipped by Talia, it's over. I think we can't win.
Yeah, I mean, we have stats from the series. I think the most important stat is you won both games.
Sure. I don't know, like.
Yeah, I'm not sure. What do you think? How do you feel about your matchup with Berserker? You did trash talk beforehand.
I think in game one I played lane really bad.
Okay.
The matchup is losing early game. Comrades was a strong lane, obviously. Yeah. But there's like a difference between like giving CS because you can't farm it, or like just missing it. I just missed them. So that's like not so great. But I think we got a double kill in lane. And then I died to Ezreal ult afterwards. But if I didn't die to Ezreal ulti by basing on a ward, which my coach will kill me for later.
You might. I saw him walk past.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty good. But the second game, I think we played lane really well. That's a hard matchup. Early game, we were even farming the whole game, and I think we had a mistake somewhere that made us lose streak. But otherwise, I think it was a good game from us overall. But we were kind of nervous about Lion because we were kind of like stomped in scrims like last week against them.
They stomped you in scrims.
Yeah, well, 2-4 win lose, you know. But like when you're in C9, it's like 2-4. It's like all hands on deck, you know. So I was a little bit nervous coming into it because I think they're pretty good in lane. So yeah, that's why we banned like Ludwig and Nico against them. So we're like, just take that up. Yeah, you know, the cringe champs.
Speaking of stuff your coaches will kill you for, APA brought up the 6-minute scuttle.
Oh,
is that now a dedicated C9 thing?
Yeah,
I mean, it's a dedicated everyone thing.
So Dominate joined the team, and he's only added on to the jungle propaganda. So basically, in case you don't know, if you full clear twice and kill a crab, you know, the first crab top or bot.
6.
Yeah, and then the third crab gets level 6. If it spawns bot side, and they get level 6 on like Xin Zhao or something, you can't fight Drake.
Yeah.
So the third crab equals you lose level 6, and you lose the Drake. So in Blabber's mind, That's might as well be the whole game. So why wouldn't we go there and kill ourselves and still lose the crab and the Drake afterwards?
Because you're going to lose the game anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So it's lose-lose.
You just said crab is broken as you walk past.
And I thought Dom would like, reel Blabber in a bit, like hold back his, suicidal tendencies in the game. But he's like only adding on to the propaganda that crab's OP. So now we have like a thing like all hands on deck.
Including top TP?
All hands, including top TP. What part didn't you get?
That's right. I'm just making sure, just checking it.
It doesn't matter how many plays, how many minions you lose, the crab gives level 6 and Drake. But if it's topside, it's fine.
Okay, then that's good to know. That's good to know. APA is the player of the game. We don't do player of the series anymore.
Okay, I will say he was kind of performing in the whole second game until he wasn't.
Okay.
I think there was a lot of time where we're like, guys, their only play is sitting in bush on side lane, ganking either Xante, who's unkillable. So it's always going to be Ian's side, Talia's side. It's like, yeah, sounds good.
What did fans say? So here,
okay, so
I voted for Sven. I personally voted for Sven.
That's just messed up.
These two voted for Mr. AP.
I voted you player of the game in the first game.
I don't think I played that amazing besides the last team fight in the game 2.
Yeah.
But to my defense, playing like a losing lane in game 1 and then playing against Nox and Orianna, really unskilled combo, I just want to say.
Of course.
Well, it's game by game, so I voted you game 1.
Yeah. True. So you still get one
every single game.
Oh, that's not bad actually. I think those.
So you split it. Okay, Sven, thank you for joining us. Congratulations. 4-0. You're yet to drop a game.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Top of Swiss. After the break, we're gonna have Sentinels for Stinger Toss. See you there.
Fuck, bro.
Nice.
Red Bull gives you wings.
The human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you. Gamers, hybrid workers, artists. Backing your every move.
All right. C9 did 2-0 Lion. They tried to throw. APA got suckered by Inspired into one fight that Lion won. It was the one chance Lion got back into the game, and then Cloud9 won the last team fight. Then they just were able to end the game. Yeah, APA played great. then almost through, and then played great. But that is APA. That is the challenge with APA. Evil Geniuses, 1 map 1 against Loud. Yeah, today's a couple random matches in Valorant. It's a good day to have a League of Legends team. Calm won a 1v4. That's fun.
Welcome back to our second series of the day, Sentinels versus Dignitas. We spent too long talking to Sven, so we have to get into this really quickly. I was going to talk about how Sentinels was not on the same page last week, and I have a dragon fight that is a perfect example. Look at this. Hambach is at 25% health, and he pulls the Drake while Rahel is going bottom lane, and the Mordekaiser is leaving. So Rahel wanted to hit
this wasn't our best moment.
Impact wanted to go top. Who he wanted to fight, Hambach wanted to do the dragon. That's 4 different things when you need to be playing together. So this was the story of the series for Sentinels, is everyone had a completely different idea on how to play the game, which is something they need to work on in order to have a chance. And I thought that was the perfect example of them not being on the same page.
Forgot about that play. Completely.
Yeah, I mean, there were many, I feel like there were many plays you could pull from that, because for a team that, with so many veterans, et cetera, I thought they'd be a lot
We do
closer.
have veterans, but
obviously we also have FBI
our 2 Korean players only got to LA a week before the match, so they only really had a week of practice.
Ignar is returning.
Tarek is watching the stream.
And then also,
Tarek, welcome to League of Legends. We're about to start in about 10 minutes.
I think still are up there in terms of like the pantheon of LCS bot lanes.
Yeah, what the hell? We need to ask FBI
Tarek,
who
welcome.
he's actually choosing. Obviously, he's going to say Ignar.
Did Tarek do a shout out to the League of Legends stream?
Fun fact for you. FBI.
It's Jerry, though, is
have
back.
The most LCS games played of any duo. Second place that was acquired in this last series is actually Sven Balkan. But the
Tarek Flyby.
Most recently came with FBI Ignar, who are now
I guess it's between maps. Oh, yeah, it makes sense.
As we get into predictions,
Mortal Lev,
because I feel
welcome
like
to the League of Legends chat.
Together.
Chat for noobs.
This week. And this Dignitas team
you can ask anything, I'll answer.
Poorly.
Yes.
How do you feel like this FBI Ignar lane
Kira
is going
9.
Everybody looked at it, for me, positively, looking towards that bot lane.
Tarek,
and
W Watch
after the World's run to be incredible.
Yeah. Just like over here
like,
hanging out with
if this was going to be NRG kind of reforming
50
in a
of my
weird
closest
way,
friends.
There was somebody that, from the player standpoint,
Tarek
was somebody
Raid.
that was like the secret sauce for the team.
Imagine Tarek not being
so. Place wards aggressively, can find snap judgments and picks instantly.
That say? Yeah, what does it say on the?
It's Ignar sauce.
Watching both streams, of course.
That,
there's no reason you can't watch 2 streams. I'm watching 2 streams at once.
In November.
No wonder it looks watery.
Because he's been out for a year.
I mean.
So you're gonna try some of that?
Okay, if you're watching it while at work, two is complicated.
Oh.
What is he drinking? Vinegar?
It's not bad. It's actually not bad. I'm going to give it to Dignitas. I actually think it's fine.
You want a?
The texture
you gotta
not
like
great, but I think
watch the Sen League.
I saw your
like
face.
I said, we will.
That's expired, Rez.
Welcome, Afro One Arab.
Let it marinate. Like
welcome
fine wine.
for the drive-by.
We're gonna have to toss a cash.
We are here just chatting about League. I will answer any question. I'm a noob, so therefore I can answer the dumbest questions. Tarek said I know ball. That's not really true. I know just enough to be annoying. Like I know just enough to be able to walk into Golden Glue's office on Monday, who's the coach, and say, wait a second, look at Golden Glue. Wait, look at the wardrobe. Today's wardrobe. Look at Golden Glue. Look at Rob. Coach reppin'.
Team now back together at Dignitas, but it's been a while since we've seen him. I will say a lot.
The coach is reppin' the new Sentinels blackout T-shirt. Just arrived yesterday.
Really need to freak out. Like, a lot of things are not dangerous when
why is Tarek hating on Liverpool, who won 4-1 today?
Lose a little bit of their potency, or
good design.
But it's not like everything is gonna like make.
All right, if we win map 1, I'm gonna give some merch away.
The expiration date that they put on the label.
So for those of you who don't know League of Legends, there's about 170 different champions. Well, it's hard to go to a Dodger game in January, but you know what? When there's a break, there's no question that would be a good idea.
They just redid the pyramid. I'm pretty sure it was all Oreo. think it's just Oreo. It just says Oreo. They even changed the shape.
So there's 170 champions. Each team gets to ban 5. So you ban 3, then you pick 3, then you ban 2, and then you pick 2. And then the other key thing is there's a new thing that started in League of Legends last year where you get any champion played in Game 1, you cannot play the rest of the series. Any champion played in Game 2, you cannot play the rest of the series. So yeah, I think we could do a lower run. I think it is one of those things where each game they get confidence. So if we beat the Leviathan crew winner, I think that can then springboard us into a run. Although the funniest thing would be if Cloud9 beats G2, we'd be playing G2 in the lower bracket, which would be hysterical. Would there ever be a hoodie with players' names on the back? It's just complicated because the jerseys, we actually do the printing here, so therefore we can customize them. So it's a big leap in terms of figuring out which player names people would want.
Expecting this one coming through, but they opt for the better synergy themselves. Wukong and Azir much better themselves, and so both teams do get their mid-jungle combinations.
And they denied the shot Kong, as you called it last week as well. So, you know, in a way, it's taking it away. Now we have the hover from Hambach.
Sounds more bad.
No, Hambach is playing my favorite jungler. Like, I am a big fan of the Nocturne, and it's one of those champions that if you play it well, you dominate the game. But if you don't dominate the game, you don't accomplish anything. It can basically move far and engage, but you're always kind of moving a long way. So your hope is you find matchups where you can turn it into a 2-on-1.
And then just rely on, well, we're going to have Rahel be the hyper carry, you know, like
yes, Leviathan with Neon might be terrifying because NC's playing later on today, so we get our first look at him.
The universal blind pick, so not definitely a surprise.
I am pretty confident that Neon is playing today. But I also think Demon 1 is not playing tomorrow for Cloud9 against G2.
The team's already showing Azir, so they already have a lot of tank killing possibilities. So I like the Renekton.
These are very standard comps being played right now.
Into the Renekton as the counter pick, but he loves the Gwen, and
Golden Blue repping the Blackout T and the current Windbreaker.
Coming into last year when he joined the team, was like the marquee pick for him going into
yeah, the League team and the Valorant team are in the same, the Valorant team is kind of at the end of the hall, the League team is in the middle, and then you come around and there's some executive offices, conference room, and then MIBR is down at the other end of the hall.
To see how
Crew does not have their full roster.
You know, the arms race like tunnel that they go.
Oh yeah, the other team's coach is also wearing a suit. I am not a suit fan. Suits are not comfortable, and I don't have a tailor on staff, so I'm not selling suits. So I'd rather my coach wear merchandise that you could actually see and go, you know what, I want that t-shirt.
Their actual 1v1 time, which they all love.
And I love that it's two champions that can get a lot of kills. If we're looking at the fantasy scoring points from last weekend, average for top was like 20
actual
points.
Sentinel suit, that would be wild times.
So, hopefully somebody locked in Impact or Photon for their top lane picks. I'm expecting more action up at the top side as opposed to just the farm fest that we usually get. But also the big story around Dignitas is the bottom half of the map with FBI and Ignar now.
Yeah, last week definitely Narrate had a rough week. We all had a rough week, but hopefully now, the good news for us is having this week off so the team can really lock in. So
that's the Inara I was talking about, being available.
So therefore next Friday, hopefully you start a big run, which would be fun. All right, hang on, let me tweet out to the crew.
Team fight is looking pretty beastly. We'll see about getting there. Much more of a dive theme on Sentinels, especially if they followed up with a Kai'Sa, you know, Orianna, Nocturne, Kai'Sa combinations. Lots of pick potential here. Lots of opportunities to try and put pressure on side lanes with both a Kai'Sa and a Nocturne ults later on into the game when towers start to go down as well. So it just puts further emphasis on who can win that top lane battle and get some side lane pushing power towards the mid game. You know, if your top laner gets their quest first, you can start snowballing your experience pretty quickly. If you get the advantage in Renekton versus Gwen, and then you can start getting side lane pressure, and you can start getting advantages in towers going down and get more territory. in the map for the mid game, then you can really snowball a lot with those picks.
So it'll be on Photon on his pocket pick Gwen to stop that from happening. I've been very impressed with Photon overall.
Is it a pocket pick if the champ is also meta? Does pocket pick, does that just mean your specialty? Because usually it's like,
is it a pocket pick if it's meta? I'm going to say no.
Okay, so you think it's like there's an exclusivity clause to this?
That's what it's supposed to be like.
Okay.
I remember
No, I think the social media team thought that, you know, they saw how rough fans were being on Narrate, and they thought that showing the human side of the team rallying would help, but he was certainly in a very raw space, so didn't go over well, but everyone's kind of locked in now. So yeah, the league team only had like a week of practice before last match, so hopefully today we're a little more coordinated. In the pregame, they showed a fight where 4 people all had different thoughts in their head. So
definitely stay away from my pockets.
As you inch further away from me on the desk currently, but we have the draft locked in. It's Alistair is the last pick here for Dignitas.
All right, let me tweet out a little invite to fans to come join us.
Wukong, yes, Azir sometimes can find angles, but I usually see Wukong more as a follow-up engage. Alistair is that kind of big engage tool that they can just throw in there, start the fights, and also can peel a little bit depending on how aggressive Sentinels decide to engage into Dig.
All right, looks like we have a little bit of a pause here as we get on into it. I hope we don't have to fully remake anything, but we'll keep you updated.
So, okay, Kobe, I'm always prepared for the pauses. So even if it's a long one, I got fun facts about the players, just as always. So
you got fun facts.
I actually got to sit in on some of the Dignitas scrims this past week. It was awesome.
Nobody wants Dignitas fun facts. Come on.
FBI and Ignar were in Los Angeles and actually playing with the team. So great to catch up with the team, see how things are going. So far, vibes are good, despite starting off on a rough note. They didn't have the roster together, so they're chalking it up to a little bit of unlucky. Now their season really begins. And Sentinels, on the other side, similar story in that they didn't have a lot of time to scrim with the team. And now they actually have had more than a full week of practice under their belt. So I think we're going to get a much better look at what both these teams are, but maybe leaning Sentinels' way still just because of how much time they've had together. FBI and Ignar, I mean, they got in a couple days ago. They're still probably experiencing jet lag right now.
Yeah, I mean, Palafox went on the Pros podcast, and he seemed very confident even after their loss in the opening weekend. And so very excited to see what Dig can do, because he was talking about, yeah, there's a couple of small things you know, to clean up, and it would look completely different. So with that kind of reunion of the Energy boys with FBI and Ignar and Palafox, you know, even maybe they don't have a lot of recent time together, but maybe it just clicks right together, you know, quickly once again. And
come on, Ad 3 and Val. Let's lock in for some league training today.
Story, though, we had an update that it's Impact's monitor having some flicker issues, so they're replacing the cable. Hopefully that sorts it all out.
Need to be able to see what's going on.
Imagine actually being able to play the game correctly. But the GM Jonathan over at Dignitas did have similar sentiment. He said that he's already seen echoes of that past synergy from the Energy roster. Even with them only being in the house for, you know, like a day and a half. And just being there, again, it was vibe central, man. They were laughing, they were joking around. I heard multiple times during scrims, somebody shout out at the top of their lungs, flash predict, followed by a chorus of laughter afterwards. So, like, things are working all right in terms of the vibes department for Dignitas. The question is going to be, can they translate that to wins on stage next?
I mean, that in itself is just such a positive thing to hear, because of the baggage that the Dignitas organization carries. For a lot of
new
fans
favorite player on Senval,
you know, watching for, well, a very long time. You'd think all the way back to the super good vibes of, you know,
yeah,
PewDiePie,
I think the hope is that Jack and
you
know, that Redux is the guy who can become as good or better than Zekken.
Exactly. There's a lot of
think
your
the thing that was great last week is Redux had a really tough map 1 and then popped off map 2 and top frag. So to see that ability for somebody that young and inexperienced was amazing.
Last year, especially in all of you know, the interviews and stuff. It was definitely a roughie. So yeah, they just cleaned house from, you know, top to bottom, and we'll see. So if the vibes are good, then that is definitely a good place to
why
start.
don't you DM me on Twitter with what your order number was, and I'll hook you up.
So
can you still write cursive, Kobe?
They're classing it up a little.
The timer, there's no timers in League of Legends.
Yes,
but thank you,
even though I haven't tried.
You Mashley who.
You know, so
how do you do an
the funniest thing is because MIBR's in our office. First day Tex was in. I saw him in the lobby, and he said, "Hey, my parents love watching you on Terek stream because they really appreciate the stopwatch."
He's taking power stance. I like this.
That.
Getting ready for it. I learned some fun information about some of the players too. We'll talk about Sentinels in a little bit here as well. But just I have all this fresh Dignitas information.
On a scale of 1 to 10,
timers for the jungle
objectives.
objectives.
You're about to deliver.
Hardest part about entering the league scene. You know, always when you're the new team and you have to start from scratch and trying to figure out the team and building it, trying to figure out the team that gels. So it's always hardest your first year, and then hoping to get a nucleus we can build from.
As a mid laner, his performance in the Rift directly correlates to how many Diet Cokes he had beforehand. And there is an upper limit. Like, if you have too many, it is a detriment. But there's like a sweet spot of how
Lucky
much
Colin
caffeine
Shop,
he needs. His preferred
welcome
is, of course,
to Sin YouTube.
How many? What's the number? What's the sweet spot?
I believe it was 4. That's what I was told.
Holy that is a lot.
Well, throughout the day, like he's maintaining. It's not like he's chugging 4 and taking to the stage.
So our competitive staff in Golden Glue definitely kind of went through all of the people to get to a kind of a short list of who they were thinking about.
Before the games to ask how many he had.
And so you know, we'll have conversations about who those people are. But really, when it comes to, especially with League of Legends that we haven't been in, that was really, you know, giving Golden Glue parameters and then him really picking the team he wanted.
Custom-made graphic pop up for our Palafox current Diet
Yeah, I think the big difference between the League of Legends teams and the Valorant team is the League of Legends team definitely has 2 really experienced players, and the Valorant roster has 1 and some, you know, some true rookies.
Wait, do we see any there? No, I see a Red Bull.
Oh, Red Bulls don't count.
I don't think they count.
No, those don't count.
That was not, at least it wasn't factored into the...
Is he drinking 4 Diet Cokes and a Red Bull and a water and a coffee?
I would hope not.
I don't think you can drink 4 Red Bull and a Coke.
So he's working it off.
Can I teach you accounting?
No, you need that pre-workout, Kobe. Do you take pre-workout?
No.
You don't?
Nah, I don't need it, bro.
There's the new Sen tracksuit that'll hopefully be coming out for stage 1.
Meanwhile, on the Sentinel side here, you know, we talk about Dig a lot.
Okay, so the League of Legends
Sentinel side. New team to the organization.
Let's see what he says about Sentinels.
Already exciting. Wait,
what is that stare? The open mouth stares are the funniest to me.
Humbug's just confused.
Well, whatever's going on with Impact Screen is looks confusing.
Yeah, clip that, tweet that one out. That's for our socials team to be like, yeah, when your pause going into game number 1. And now we're taking naps as well. Somebody get that man a diet.
I think that's like a get in the zone meditation style, you know?
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead with your fun info. What you got? What was it? Or
I'm hearing actually there's another update that they're changing some settings in the client now that were not correct for Impact. So that is what's causing the
How can
Impact
have client settings? He's been in the league for a decade.
The first issue is Soundbug, man.
Yeah, now that I pointed out, you can't get.
I can't stop looking. I can't
Neither
stop
can
looking
he.
at him. Yeah, yeah, true.
He's staring at.
He's looking.
I want to. Can we get a visual of Impact Screen? some crazy stuff must be going on.
We're
requesting
a lot of stuff from production.
Red Bull and
now.
vodka is definitely a combo.
Graphic.
It's
better.
El Tostado.
It's better to ask for forgiveness.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with the Lakers at the trade deadline.
Also, I'm hearing, Kobe, that chat has actually come in on the conversation for the Diet Cokes. They think it's either 6 or 7.
So the league format is this. There is a 3-game Swiss. The team that's 3-0 becomes the 1 seed. The 3 2-1 teams go into the upper bracket. The 3-0 team gets to pick their opponent in the upper bracket. The 0-3 team gets knocked out completely. The 3-1-2 teams, whoever has the best game record, becomes the 5th seed, and then 6 and 7 play off in a 1-game playoff to get the last spot. The teams who are 5 and 6 seeds go in the lower bracket and are playing single elimination, and the 4 teams 2-1 or 3-0 are in the upper bracket playing double elimination. So this is round 2 of a 3-round Swiss.
because he's saying he's trying to fix his sleep schedule, stay awake longer.
That helps with your jet lag.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's a 3-round Swiss, basically for seeding into a bracket. The winner of the tournament then goes to the first international of the year called First Stand, which I think is being held in Brazil. I'm pretty sure. Is it Brazil or Seoul? Somebody fact check me. The first international is called First Stand. Yes, Korea LCS dominates. That's where Faker plays at 3 NBAL. It really goes Korea, then China, then EU, and then North America, for better or worse. So that's the dream, is upgrading the North American to be better than Europe. League has 3. They have First Stand. First Stand, where 1 team from each region goes, and then MSI, where 2 teams, and then Worlds, where 3 teams from each region, plus Korea and China's 4 seeds play off for the last spot. Is there a VLR equivalent for League? I'm sure there is. I do not know what it is. Someone in chat must be able to help us there. Oh yeah, there's 3 by Riot, and then there's the Esports World Cup, which is between MSI and Stage 2, very similar to the way with Valorant. It's between the Masters 2 and Stage 2.
Champion pool becoming a bench doing a best of 3. That is not
Alex Thomas, resubscribe with Prime. You've been subscribed for 12 months. That's crazy talk.
I like what,
well done, Alex Thomas.
Stuff last year. I think for a new prospect.
Alex Thomas, I don't know anyone else who's been subbed for the last 12 months. So if you DM me on Twitter right now, I will send you this blackout T-shirt. So send me your email and your size and your address, and I will send you out a blackout T-shirt. Tarek told me you know sports. Okay, so I will say Formula One is probably the sport I know the least about. I really started getting into it last year, so I did kind of watch the end of the season. You and Tarek are excited for Counter-Strike. I think I promised if we made it MSI or Worlds, we would form a Counter-Strike team.
Told anybody. I think they just that request.
Yeah, Impact, Liquid let him go. He did not have a very good 25. He was the MVP of 2024.
I think they might have had
and so, but he's very motivated and hungry, so it was exciting to get the chance to have him come play.
All right, so early game here. Ward dropped down from Sentinels
to try and track
XU's jungle
Welcome.
pathing. It will be cleared out.
Thank you for the sub.
That Ignar will start with, and that means Sentinels will have this forward position in the bot lane brush.
Alex Thomas, all right.
Okay.
But send me your info, and I will get you out the blackout tee.
Early lane goes down there. Yeah, let's stay down there because
I am Team Red Bull by default. That is certainly true. All right, let's now give the casters a chance to get it started.
It's also weird because Yunara, if she has access to the wave, stacking up Q, then she's quite strong.
Yep.
So stack up the Q here, and FBI can take care of business. Rahel and Huhi have both brush warded and are going to be able to get the early jump on this wave.
I do like our team comp. I feel like it's one that should be not that hard to pull off. So that's the dream.
Here on Ignar as well.
Chopping 28-24.
It's almost impossible to get
Welcome
that
to the family.
First, but actually right now, I think that they will be able to match that. So that means Rahel and Huhi will miss that little window where they're stronger.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty good for them, though, for Rahel and Huhi.
How much to sign Faker? I don't think that's really a thing. He's the GOAT.
So that's why we're watching this so closely. Is going to be quite meaningful down here. Both junglers pathing towards this Renekton Gwen matchup that we were hyping up. Photon on his
Darkwing has got a nice position in the mid lane.
That's
keeping the
signature champion. I like
even Palafox going to push back.
Welcome,
Carsap.
Another reason we're looking at the bot lane so much is because, first off, an engage right now.
3-month streak for Carsap.
Rahel takes a huge chunk, has to walk away. FBI and Ignar will not full commit to that one. They'll just win the trade. But it's the reunion of Dignitas.
Carsap on the 3-month streak.
FBI and Ignar
DM me and I will also
hook
you up with a
T-shirt.
T-shirt.
Energy roster. We've talked about this a lot before, but a reminder that they've played under Jonathan, a GM.
Yeah, Faker
for,
is like
Guardians, but then
the
on
goat
the
of
CLG
goats.
Energy run here. And now only a couple of pieces have kind of moved from that winning formula.
Yes, they have moved, and they just arrived.
Carsap,
honestly,
part of the hardcore sub group who's been subs for longer than a month.
just different guys.
Inauthentic, you know, reflection.
We're not going to leave after a year like NRG.
Super duper a lot.
That was rough.
Yeah.
All right, so
not just super. We throw
Hambach
there as well
missed his first, but here we go.
Super duper trouble.
All right.
At least the lane phase was, and
Good,
you can tell lane
some
phase
position
already
there.
this time around looking quite
really
decent.
But yeah,
We're just
I'm going to
throwing
try and
all
get more into
all the
Formula One
answers
this
from
year.
Diet Cokes.
That's my
That's what
goal.
I'm
When
hearing
is the
this one.
first Formula One race?
You started this. Why are you disappointed? I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah?
Yeah, because now people are going to speculate. If he makes a bad play, they're going to be like,
All right.
that was a one Diet Coke play.
True.
And then he pops off.
All right, we got a lot going on here in this river. Everybody's kind of meeting up.
Yeah.
Everybody's kind of meeting up here.
Has his bot lane to play with him.
All right.
And Darkwings are roaming
Huhi got the engage off. Get here, Darkwings. Get here. Come on. Get here, Darkwings.
FBI has a flash away.
All right.
Flash to the wall as well.
Force
pushed away.
Force at least one flash.
Yeah, mid lane roam means everything.
You know, the only Qbert shirts in stock right now are the
Darkwings actually did not get
crop
any
tops.
takedowns, obviously. No kills here or anything. So he ends up losing out.
Welcome,
When you
Hot
leave your
Ice
lane,
Cube.
it
Welcome to the
does
Prime.
greatly reduce your passive stacking for your quest. And not
Derek
only
is
that, but also Azir gets the free shove in the whole wave and gets to go for a nice recall there for Palafox. So Darkwings will
Sleeping Snipes gifting Tarek
see if
a
that
sub
ends up being
to the
meaningful.
Sen channel
You know,
is the
Palafox hits
best.
a little early, and then there's some kind of power spike with the boots and.
When is
able
the
to
first
actually
F1
utilize
race of
that
the year?
Because usually in Azir versus Orianna, Azir level 6, going to look for a lot of these all-ins, going to look to burn Orianna flashes, and if you have Azir plus Wukong here, then maybe they'll be able to look for some kills. And even with an Alistar roaming around, Ignar, he was always one of the
March
supports
8th.
that roamed
Thank
the
you,
most of any.
It's
So if
Jerry.
he gets over to
I
mid
do have a
lane,
couple Qbert
oftentimes
jerseys
you're
stashed
really looking to
around.
burn through
If you want to
Orianna
send me your
flashes
info, I'll
over
see
and
if I
over
can't find
so
one
that
in your
Azir
size.
can put that threat of the shuffle.
Props to Darkwings for not missing out on too much CS, though. He was able to catch a lot of that wave. Both middle laners TP back, so still even there. Top lane, also despite
Right now, this
push
is
I think
just
early has
everyone kind of
equalized. So we really do see
positioning,
Sentinels,
posturing.
you know,
No one
in
really
a
with an
pretty
advantage.
solid
Get ready
position
for the
currently,
first fight.
with bottom lane being the one area that has a bit of a lead over their opponents. As Photon hits level 6, goes for the all-in.
It's going to be interesting in the Super Bowl to see if Sam Darnold can finally step up in the big game.
For the Dominus.
Photon feeling pretty
Hot Ice
good
Cube,
here
that
on his
Haiku
champ.
merch is just all really good. It was a great collection. My team did a great job on
Pretty
that.
To keep Impact in lane.
Deanna and Hannah
He doesn't
did a
have
great
jungle
job on
coming or
the
anything,
designs.
but it is going to make Impact second guess that, and is under a bit of pressure here, keeping the wave
It is dead even.
towards the middle of the lane.
And maybe this can get in the head of Sentinels. We see Hambach
Sleeping Snipes just out there gifting like a madman.
Ready for the
All right.
yet.
Sleeping Snipes, send me your info and I will.
Aggressive under a hell response
I'll
flash,
send you the blackout
he
tee.
also has to burn the summoner spell. So it's both flashes down in Sentinel's bot lane as Exu now spotted by Hambach in the river. 3v3 as FBI will just start hitting the wave and push this out.
Man, Yunara with Q charged up. It just feels so fun too. You feel so powerful with it. They got a lot of pressure here. 2 flashes for 1, as you say. See if they're going to be getting sort of repeat once that Wukong is level 6, because both junglers closing in on this critical break point. Nocturne, of course,
There's like just a run going on. All right, Babachi 19, send me, DM me your info.
And the lane is there, but the Kai'Sa recalled, so maybe there won't be such
Babachi
a big
19,
deal about
DM
that
me on
timing
Twitter.
window.
Hambach just hit it right there off of the buff, and he's heading back towards this dragon. He had started it
Welcome, Av 3Ry18.
Now with level 6 and mid lane even backing him up, it seems like Sentinels will be able to secure the first Drake of the game. Exu hits 6, but won't be nearby. He's actually not even walking towards that dragon to spot it out. Instead, just going to go for his Raptor.
The gift war
ahead
is
in the clear
real.
and faster to the objective on the Nocturne. Not too shabby.
All right, we'll see which level 6 jungler gets
All right,
the bigger
so
impact,
we got the first
bigger
Drake.
gank. Bottom
So
lane,
that's
of
always
course,
key.
Both AD carries
Like
are
in an even
flashless.
game, at least
They
getting
still
the
have their
Drakes gives you a
barriers
small
to try and work
advantage.
with if they do get
Because it
ganked,
also gives
but
you an advantage
having
going
no
forward where
flash,
you get to decide when you want to
definitely very
engage and when you want to
vulnerable
take
down
a
there. Right now, though, Raptors
focus
first on the
on
menu.
getting more vision on the map.
Securing his own as we also had
We
Ignar
debated
hovering
having
around
a
there. So
separate
multiple
jersey for the
members of
league team and
Dignitas
decided to have
were
them be
hovering
the
that
same
mid
for
lane.
now.
They were
So
not able to find a
this
window
year
to
they are going to
capitalize.
have the same.
And Hambach's just back to
If they
safely
qualify for an
clearing his own
international,
camps.
we'll have a custom jersey. So that's where there would be a unique jersey. But for now, they'll have the
almost
same.
back up, by the way. and they can repeat kind of look here. He's got his ultimate ready. Void Grips are spawning, so the winner of that fight.
That is a good question about the Sen logo of who has them. Sleeping Snipes has one.
No,
so I think if you are sub, can you get one?
I think
you have to join the Sen Discord.
Have the choice between the two, you go for dragons, but if there's no
a mod
choice,
should
on the map,
fact check me on that.
You get the extra bonus there. And
Alex Thomas, or it's
pressure.
Jerry though.
I'm back right now hovering the mid lane.
Give me a fact check on the Sen badge.
Last camp before heading towards that top river. Palfox will walk into
Come
the
on. All right, he forced his flash.
From Hambach, who was lying in wait. So Sentinel's going to freeze.
Thank you, Terex Kebab.
They're yoinking at least one of the grubs right now, though. So during that time, XU, I believe, is burning one down. He has a smite ready, so he should just smite at least
one. Is it only for the channel? If you're a sub, you can have the Sen badge.
But with Dark Wings,
all right, so
threatening the kill.
We're taking the two Void Grubs, so we get an advantage for helping to take towers.
Early game, feeling comfortable for Sentinels
and
right
we have
now.
the first Drake,
so it's just those objectives that
so far we have a small lead.
Okay, and Photon and Impact traded ults on top side again, preemptively for that grub fight. But yeah,
oh, you get a Sen badge on Discord if you join Sen Society, sensociety.gg.
As enough for Sentinels.
You get a 7 days free and then $5 a month.
They've got the 2 grubs versus 1 grub. Sentinels
also, if you sign up for Sen Society right now for a year subscription, we still have a few more jerseys to give away. So if you sign up right now for a year, you get a free blackout jersey.
Again, you had even said it's tough to have champ pool issues.
All right, Carsap. After the match, I'll take a look.
Oriana here just in laning phase. He already started.
But maybe get into esports. I love sports.
Now that they both have their ults, now is when I'm going to start actually putting the magnifying
my
glass
kids
on
were really
into
gaming, and so just felt like it was a great way to be part of competitive sports, and something I think has a lot of growth going forward.
Teleport back into lane.
That's the hope.
Knockwave is very powerful.
It is dead even gold, but we have the slight advantage because of
especially
Drake.
versus 0 with no flash. So
yeah, they don't even have to wait for the Drake.
You can put that pressure on him.
Kiko bringing the EMA tech pauses.
It looks like we have the jungle invade. Though,
he isn't
so
playing
like
for better or worse.
Early warning before the dragon even gets there. You see on the bottom side of the map, XU as well as Ignar working together. Defensive wards are going to see him though, and so Huhi and Rahel are able to get back in time here for the minion wave. Still, though, turret plate money to FBI, and the second turret plate is so close to going down. One more hit.
Really smart move there from Photon. It was a subtle moment, but because XU was spotted by that ward, I was worried, thinking, okay, Nocturne's topside. Is Photon going to be in danger? He walked all the way back. He said, my jungler's in the bottom half of the map. I'm not going to greed for this forward wave. And he actually avoids a potential gank there from Hambach. And Photon in general has just really impressed me as a top laner, man. Like,
I'm a big fan of Kaisa. I like watching an 80 carry pop off on Kaisa late game. Because Kaisa has the ability to kind of just swoop in, shoot you, and swoop away.
Dignitas having this top laner.
All right, here we go. Look out, Impact. Look out, Impact. Don't die.
Has flash available.
Don't die, Impact. Don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die. Don't die. Oh, wait. Yes. All right, at least he traded it. Ooh.
1-for-1.
All right.
So it's first blood. Actually, is going to give you the bonus gold again and assist money on that kill.
So the gold is dead even still, and we're going to get a turret plate right here, and maybe 2 even.
You get the
are we going to get 2 turret plates? Yes, we are.
As well as.
All right. So we lost the fight 2-for-1, but immediately got turret plates. So
this one goes over the Dark Wings. They
crashies.
Control, so.
Do I get the same amount of stress level watching League?
I mean,
right now it is different because there's so much less expectation on the League of Legends team because it's an expansion team.
As well as
so this is a lot more fun. I will never. I'm too stressed to watch Party the Valorant matches.
Not much to re-go
because then I would crash out.
Off the ultimate, that's enough for XU to go in.
So
he is taking tower.
I can watch this and have fun with it still.
He gets his heal off his Q and he gets his stun in tower range, and so he does get his trade kill.
Yeah, and as Dragon started here by Sentinels, I also want to highlight
we're going to get the second Drake here. There's no one here. We're getting the second Drake. That's key.
Back in the day.
That's
and
awesome.
Last year, not the best showing from Impact. We kind of memed about it. You know, worst year ever.
All right, so we have 2
stats-wise versus
Chopping 28-24 gifted a sub to Crash.
So we actually made this graph of like where is he right now, currently based on last week, and already here. I wanted to lean like 6, maybe 7.
I'm always like, whenever Nate Shot drops by Tarek Stream when Hunter Thieves is playing, and he's like always ready to crash out, I'm like, I don't need that microphone live in front of me during a Valorant match.
Echoing it for them.
Uh-oh.
As a dive comes in from Ignar right
Uh-oh,
now.
Rahel, no. Wait,
As Ignar will
no.
take up all the shots. FBI with the kill credit.
Uh-oh.
Okay, well, bottom side of the map is just
That one we needed to, we should have had better idea what was happening. The fact that Rahel was in a 1v3,
the Dignitas here.
That's where your team's got to have better communication.
Yep.
Making some gold leads for themselves, even though they're losing out significantly on the objectives. They are getting some gold in the areas that they want, and namely Yunara here. FBI on Yunara. Kraken Slayer is done. Has a decent little lead for himself, and that champ definitely has the capabilities here to carry as long as you don't get hit by the Orianna Nocturne combination.
And on top of that, he had gone for the call to match Rahel, so even though they were kind of accepting, yeah, we're just gonna be farming, getting our gold that way, he's able to pick up that kill as well and now start to accelerate himself. Now that he's hit that power spike,
I haven't really followed mobile games
is rewarding
that much.
cardholders with their chance at $50 in RP. Head to priceless.com/powerspike or click the pinned link in chat for your chance.
He's going to delay his back there.
For giving everybody that little
He's on a ward, so Impact's going to keep torturing him and not let him base.
The pregame, FBI,
although sometimes you get greedy and don't let the guy base, and then his friends show up and kill you.
It was just the one-word response, old.
Okay.
He did laugh after.
All right, come on, Rahel.
Credit,
Let's pop off here. Let's get this.
Yeah, well, you say it.
All right, we're back in the gold lead. All right, here we go.
I wrote it in my notebooks. Now it's recorded.
You got the turret plate.
So
that's where the void grab gives you an advantage when you. Okay, there comes the first ult from the Nocturne, and now we didn't have quite enough damage, and instead he's gonna get a kill or not. Darkwings, get here. All right, but we're gonna be able to smack on this turret because he has to base. So hopefully
he does survive as well. So
the problem is you have to get the turret before the minions die.
Does he have the damage to actually take him down?
Yeah, so the minions are all dead because if there's no minion, then the turret shoots at you.
Yeah, repeat play here with the
the League of Legends team is in the middle of the floor. All right, we're going to get the first turret here, so that gives you a bonus. So we're going to close this gold gap again.
Goes over to
this is just such a
Sentinels,
back and forth match so far.
First tower bonus, pretty nice. Herald on top of it for Dignitas, including getting the kill.
Well, the agent Impact is playing Renekton.
I will say that top
like
turret will
he's
also
even in
most
gold
likely
with the
fall
other
here
guy,
soon.
even though
It
he's
seems
died
like
twice.
Alphax is
And ultimately, you're Renekton. You're really just counting on the end of the game to soak up damage. So that is what he's ultimately be doing.
The next patch, they're going to walk back a little bit of the durability of taking consecutive plates.
Yeah, the Valorant team's in one corner of the office, the League team's in the middle, and then like the conference rooms, then MIBR is down the other side.
Though, for them, they should be able to use it towards
so yeah, I get to see Zek can walk by every day during our week during our staff meeting.
That one pretty nicely. So Dignitas also progressing their turret taking.
Yeah, when he's playing Renekton, for better or worse, he's going to die. That's just the thing.
Ignar coming around,
right, we got another turret plate.
Might have actually found an avenue in.
So again, this is Impact.
He was messing around on Nocturne side of the map.
Yeah.
And this is what we're looking at for Champ Select. The Nocturne hovering on the side lanes is going to be a
now,
very
Hombach
big
does
issue.
need to get popping off here. Have I ever watched rugby? That isn't really. No.
Not gonna find the kill.
We got away.
Hombach flashes away.
That did not go well.
Sentinels, I guess maybe they just didn't see Ignar there. I mean, that's a tough dive onto an Alistair.
That is horrible for them. Not only did they use their first knockwave combination, but they have to both end up flashing out.
That was wild times. That was not good what just happened.
New APA now chatting away.
I know, yeah. We gotta come up with a new name for that
hey,
one.
Man, it's okay. You know, you're not able to spell shield as your ult's like inspired.
So last year, FBI was on the same team with Huhi and Darkwing.
I mean, Nocturne and Orianna both having to flash out.
Yes, he did use his zero ult. They are kind of underplaying the fact that he did use his
Orianna's
zero.
weakness is in the part of the game right now where towers are going down on the side lanes, so she can't really side lane. Azir has a lot of authority to go to side lanes, has so much mobility, also has flash advantage, also going to get the Rift Herald. Where's he going with that sucker, though?
That's not your side of the map. Okay.
That was the worst Rift Herald play right there.
Maybe it just
I don't know what he was thinking.
All
right.
out.
This is huge here.
You know what?
Where's
We'll
the impact? Their Azir is teleporting right now, but can we get the Draken burn down before he gets here? Come on, come on, come on, come on. Get it, get it, get it, get it. How about it? 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. Yes! Boom!
That is Dragon Spear for Sentinels. They don't need to take the fight. They got the objective. His needlework will come out from Photon.
Vivic19, yes. Send me your email. Come on, come on. Yes, come on. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Come on, Rahel. Come on. Boom. Come on. Come on. Boom! Let's go!
FBI will fall. The Dragon plus a cleanup team.
Let's go!
Let's just
wow, that was so big.
Oh my!
Getting the third Drake when they have none is just such an advantage because then you really get to dictate what happens. Should you go bald? You know what? If you don't have a lot of hair, it's just a simpler way to go. You just clean it up. Makes life simpler.
And so Hui on the recon here.
That was a very clean fight because did we kill 3 and they got none? Is that what just happened? Or we got 2?
Whatever, we're backing off. But no, XU goes in for it.
See, XU did the thing that drives me crazy, where he opted into the fight and then they all died. Like, XU engaged and then we killed 2 and they killed none. 3, we killed 3 and they killed none, and we're about to kill another. All right, Rahel's starting to pop off. Here we go.
Finds another kill.
Here we go. Rahel now has a 1,000k gold lead, and he's about to get even more gold.
Honestly, the race is like half over too.
I did watch. I've been watching the Los Vertones. I do usually will watch some of the Cadro highlights of the LCK matches.
Well, it's like 2 minutes of play here.
Do not forget your name and your size when you send me information.
They've got this whole wide map now to make picks, repeat picks with Nocturne Oriana.
Not everybody's getting a jersey all of a sudden. I'm sending out T-shirts
a couple of flashes, but
to people
in the last play, they burned both the
who have some exceptional behavior in the chat.
No Yunara flash, no Azir flash. For Dignitas to work with either.
But like I said, that fight they lost, they opted into. That's the thing that drives me nuts. It's like they could have just walked away. And then they opted into a fight. We killed 3 people. Here we go again. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that is the ult combo. That is the classic combo. Is Oriana has a ball that does damage, and your Nocturne just helps, runs it in, blows it up, kills people. And then Impact is over here annoying this guy. He might even solo kill him. Is he just going to solo kill him while we're taking the Baron? Is that what's going to happen? It is. No.
But Photon will survive.
Okay, so we took the Baron while getting a kill. Stop Tim 3. Welcome to the stream. We're just hanging out. I'm answering questions. You can ask any question about League of Legends gameplay. That's part of why we're here.
The most important part of the race is the end of the race.
It is the end.
Net HC 1096. Welcome to the stream. We're just hanging out, drinking Fuji, Apple, Ginger, Red Bull.
Thing to remember, slow and steady wins the race, but that's not really true.
I watched track and field only during the Summer Olympics.
Yeah.
But that was the perfect combo. Like that's the dream execution of the Oriana Nocturne combo is what I'm right there. No tequila stream. It's a little early for the tequila stream. It's 3:40. But you know what? If we win 2-0, definitely like for a, or in the middle of map 2, I might have to have a little sip of a Class Azul sip for good luck.
Nocturne turned off the lights and all Dignitas got scared.
It's spooky, man. Have you ever tried to go into a basement with the lights turned off?
Hi-Ho Cheeseburger is as good as it gets.
Nocturne ultimates.
We're still expanding,
it's a little bit of bluffing,
but it is the best.
Okay, so Darkwings, he was able to flash away and then he shockwaved pretty nicely to pull the Wukong a little bit off him.
Vivachi 19, all good. And like I said, it is so funny because sometimes the game just swings. Ampha, nice.
Maybe we sent too much.
Bayern Munich. I don't follow Bundesliga. I follow the Premier League and Champions League.
Sentinels, though, Keeping their mid laner
So,
alive. Darkwing says now regrouped with the team. They're sieging mid. With
in terms of
their
new
Red Bull
teams
Baron
right now,
power
since
play.
we just got into
We'll
League
take
of
down a
Legends and
tier
it's
2
such a
turret there.
big opportunity,
Immediately rotate
that's
down
really what we're
towards
going to be
the bottom
focused
side.
on
They're
for the next
sticking
probably
the
6
crew
months.
together.
And that I did
Or I
commit
will
to
say no
Tarek
flash
that if our
on
League of
Darkwings
Legends
now,
team made an
it's the next
international, we
time
would
if
launch
Dignitas
Counter-Strike
find a
for
play
next
like
year.
that. Boom, they probably get that kill.
You just gotta keep
That's
going
what Tarek
with it,
likes to
even
keep
if the lights go
tweeting
out.
and talking about.
I know it's scary, like Dark. This is
Moosington
really scary.
12. This is map 1. The first match, Cloud9 beat Lion 2-0, and now this is map 1.
Well, the strategy is you hold hands. You know, you got to get a buddy.
Oh, you get the buddy system.
Got to get a buddy.
All right, so we're about to get the Dragon Soul. They're not even contesting it. This is
This
awesome.
is Dragon Soul uncontested. Dignitas.
So the Infernal Drake gives you additional
to walk up and push their way in. Sentinels
gives you additional damage. So it's a
at 23 minutes into the game, and they still have
Tarek should invest his own money in a Counter-Strike
so
team.
Dignitas, I mean, they're at this point kind of looking for a miracle as the gold lead is well in Sentinels'
You know, I
favor,
think
plus all the stats
relative
they
to
get from the Dragon.
sponsors, there's definitely that some sponsors prefer League of Legends to games like Valorant and Counter-Strike, because it is more like science fiction as opposed to more realistic gunplay, and so it just gives us a better portfolio of games when we're dealing with sponsors, and League of Legends still is the most popular game in the world. Come on, get that kill, get that kill, get that kill. No. Get here, Impact, get over here and farm this kid. Get here, Impact, get one of these two guys. Okay, kill FBI, Impact, get here faster. Somebody has to kill FBI. Come on, get him, there, boom. All right, well, this is crazy, Rahel. You got to pop off here. Yes, come on, one more.
The double kill. Dignitas.
Come on, Rahel, get one more. Get one more.
Too strong in these fights. It was a nice
Come on, look out. They're going to flank you. You got to kill Ignar. Oh, all right. Look out, Rahel. Rahel, look out. Okay, at least we saw him, so we can, like... Okay. All right, this is perfect. Darkwing just TP'd him with full health to all these guys with low health and immediately getting 2 kills. See, Dignitas greeted here where they needed to they lost the fight, but they kept chasing because they just were like, we got to kill these people.
All right, Genghis, bump your impact meter up a couple notches. Pump that thing up a couple notches, because Impact, he was playing the bodyguard. He was also playing the executioner there at the end. Nicely.
That was the funniest, longest, slowest walk for Impact to get there to kill FBI. That was so funny.
We're like, oh man, things are not looking great.
All right, so Ronok 2.
Maybe Palfox could do something.
Yes, we are winning. The gold gives you kind of a snapshot. We're at 49.7 to 43.5.
Back into the game. But once Impact arrived,
and the basic is you need to kill the towers so that you can get to the enemy base. There's 3 rows of towers. Peachy Nickel, welcome to the stream.
Also pretty painful.
A map usually takes 35 to 40
minutes. There's a saying that I like to live by when it comes to League of Legends, and that's sometimes the only way out is in. Dignitas, we're trying
Very soon good. He's locked in.
To my experience, did not
obviously last weekend was just rough because we were so close to winning both maps against 100 Thieves. But everybody wants the same thing. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to play well. Everybody wants the fans to be happy.
They're just waiting to put the final, touches on this game. Although I will say, reminder, not to maybe, cast or curse anybody, but remember last week when Lion was in a very similar position versus Dig? XU did steal a Baron. So just saying, there's a chance.
Do you have video evidence to back that up?
I did, yes, we streamed the game. We watched it.
Let's watch it again. Pull it up real quick.
I think we do have it actually. So just a reminder for everyone.
Here we go. We're gonna try and burn down the Baron right on spawn, because now, like Kaisa, when she gets fed like this, she can just melt this.
Okay.
And so they'll try and take it 2v2 while the other team comes in, and we'll try and get some damage to them. And they're kind of stuck where they have to either come in and fight or watch us take Baron.
Is there to match him.
And so the key is, all right, now at this point, we just got to burn it. There we go. So now one, shoot, whoa, Hallmark, let's go, Hallmark!
before the fight even kicks off.
That is the beauty of Nocturne, where he can go a long way and turn the lights out so you can't see him coming. All right, Rahel. Boom, Rahel. Okay, this is what we were looking for that we didn't get last week. Rahel popping off.
Domination from Sentinels as a team. They have played this one clean. And now with their second Baron are looking to close it out.
This is a best of 3.
Knockwave with Infernal Soul.
And then this is a 3-round Swiss to get into the playoffs. The winner of the playoffs goes to First Stand, which is the first international of the year.
It's up now, at least while he's dead. So I don't know. Maybe there's a couple more seconds on it.
If we had a Counter-Strike team, because so many of the tournaments are not in North America, that's the big question, is where you base it and what kind of players you end up with. But right now, we're focused on getting League launched. Okay, Impact's they're gonna try and take Impact out 3v1, but he's now so fed it's hard to kill him.
That needs it.
Yes, unfortunately. Let's get another
So you look at how far Humbach comes with that Nocturne ult, where he just came all the way and just took out their 80 carry before they could even shoot. Thank you, Timothy Wong, 8998.
Jungle here, but yeah, the front line is so beefy. Impact moves
No, all games end by getting the towers. So you have to blow up the towers in the enemy's base.
You coach Golden Glue right there.
There you go, Golden Glue wearing the blackout
he wanted
tee.
a little more there.
Yeah.
Golden Glue repping the blackout tee.
I got to see it again in the replay. He ulted into the Wukong, who was already using the Cyclone. So maybe if he hadn't self-CC'd himself.
So the goal just gives you the ability to buy more items, so you have more healing, more shields, more powerful weapons to do more damage.
Hombach and Huhi now going back in onto Ignar. They get the Alistair ult, and he still almost dies.
Oh, Rahel tried to snipe him.
By one Void Seeker.
All right, here we go.
Another one. Oh, no.
We get this wave here, we'll take out this turret.
Here it comes.
Because since we have the Baron buff, it does more. The cannons and the minions do more damage to the towers, so you can take them faster.
Now. What do you got? Towers deleted. They're going for it.
Another engage comes in from Hui. Another Nocturne. Paranoia yet again.
Boom!
Does find a shuffle, but it's Zonia's by Rahel. The 80 carry. Still healthy on Sentinels as Impact.
Let's go. Impact farming onto the towers because he's playing. All right, GG, game 1, Sentinels.
They closed out week 1 with a loss.
So you have the Fearless Draft. You cannot use any of these 10 champs in the next game. So the whole year, that's what they're going to be doing. Nice, clean game 1 for Sen. That was nice.
Very successful.
Because Rahel popped off, Hombach popped off.
For Sentinels. Nice opener to
but
the
both
series.
Rahel and Hombach only got to LA like a week before our first match. They basically doubled their practice time in last week, so that looked much cleaner today. That was a nice win.
Game 1 Andy, as they say.
Well, let's see what the desk has
Somebody
to
tell
say
Tarek in his stream that we won. Certainly the Montreal Canadiens. I will say, hockey, I'm a playoff fan. Like, I'll watch some Kings games, but to branch out past that, I'm really, when the playoffs start, then I'll lock into hockey.
But not the first time.
Now, so I will say, this was actually a much closer game than it became.
Yeah.
Because the early game, it did look like Dignitas was going to do well. They didn't have Drakes, but they did have a bit of a goal beat them.
Yeah, and I liked a lot of the small things I saw from Dignitas, right? Like we talked about.
There's our team manager, Kez, who's known as the Curse. Tarek.
Secret sauce. I actually really liked his plays.
Tarek with a drive-by.
Yeah,
I'm told they subbed you, Tarek. Somebody
really
gifted you a sub while you were away.
And then the Rome top, where he helped out with another dive.
What is happening with the EG Loud?
It was actually really close until
who won game?
Minutes. And one thing I want to call
who won game 2 over there? Are they still in a tech pass?
If there's a Drake, he's going to be on it.
Yeah, but this to me was just better coordination than we've
seen. A very
from
clean map 1.
FBI and XU who are on different pages.
Yes.
FBI's hitting the turret when XU goes for this engage, so they can't follow it up. And that allows Sentinels to then re-engage on the back end of this fight. And this was kind of game deciding. Sure, they lost the Drake, but they were still up in gold before this moment.
And even if Yunara was there with the team, I think that's a little bit too far with an Alistar that sure does have ulti, but is below 50% HP. It was just a tough fight to see. So they're going to have to resolve those problems. Now, I took a sip out of this. I liked it. I think it's probably going to game 3. I want to know if you if you believe in it.
Son of a...
I want to know if you believe in it. We'll come back to see
if I believe Raz liked this black liquid. But
it's just a taste bud thing.
Before we get to this, we were going to show coordination from... We're getting off of this disgusting liquid.
Sure, but now it's about the knock ball.
Yeah, is that what you're calling
We looked
it?
very clean game 1. I am Magic
It's the knock wave. I think we agree.
It was a good win.
Also, don't discount who
Alex Thomas going to bed.
Either,
really?
Right? Because he
Come on, it's Saturday. I was up till 4 in the morning watching the women's singles finals from Australia. Come on, I'm pretty sure it's not 4 in the morning where you are.
Okay. Yep. Congratulations, Rahel. I'm considering this now, Raz.
You want to try?
Yeah, Rahel popped off 7-1.
I'm curious to see what
yeah, it's 1 a.m.
Yeah.
I said I was up till 4 a.m. watching Rybakina Sabalenka.
Ignar did.
Impact and get player of the game.
Interesting.
We needed a fan vote for
Interconnected
this
was beast mode.
Yes, it was.
This is interesting. I want to know what the casters voted because we kind of voting blocked Rahel.
A little bit.
So if production can tell me what the casters said.
Because I'm super interested with how well Impact played.
They did 1 Hambach, 1 Impact. So even if chat's vote counted, it still wouldn't overpower the line of analysts that all said Rahel.
And in your opinion, chat, maybe too stupid.
The analysts wanted Rahel to be the MVP. The crowd wants Impact.
Well, and laned a lot better than he did in the previous game. Real quick before I drink this.
Wait, J3 Boss 1A. Did you send me your tattoo before?
You need to submit
DM me the tattoo.
to get on the show tomorrow. Yeah. What are your overreactions from the first week and a half of the LCS lock-in tournament?
Send us your hot takes.
Yeah, Waiting Room's going to be touching on this tomorrow. So
yes,
please send
see,
the hot
I don't
takes.
really usually watch other people's Valorant matches. I'm more likely to watch a Korean League of Legends match than I am to watch a APAC Valorant match.
Raz, you need to tell me why I need to.
But I'm always down for important matches. So like, does Rob read the YouTube chat? Idiot Productions 2303. Yes, he does.
I feel like
you already tried this.
It's still going.
And I liked it, but I need a second.
Okay.
I need someone.
Yeah, actually, Timothy Wong. We didn't have some of the content yet because the players weren't here, so we're actually going to shoot some content this week.
Yeah.
That looks like it had a kick.
Get your overreaction.
How did you do this?
These aren't, well, they're completely different people from Valorant, but these people have been around a while.
You can
like the League of Legends casters are a core group that have been around for a long time.
Right now. Don't miss any LCS
Garsap, Sense Society, welcome.
Your favorite food, not whatever jet, delivered on Uber Eats for less gold. And now we are headed to break, so grab your food. Jet might die.
I think the one thing people are starting to figure out, Timothy Wong, is how close that league is. I think the Valorant League this year is going to be so much more fun. That's the dream. 3 out of 8 teams go to Worlds. So hopefully Sim will make it to Worlds. That was a nice win.
Massive ultimate.
Obviously, like I said, our team just hasn't had that much time together yet.
Get wiped. It's a pentakill.
If Sim made Worlds our first year, that would be legendary.
Blue team looking to start up the Baron here. We'll see if they are going to be able to be successful. Jarvan is in the area though, so it's a bit of a risky play. It's going to get spotted out. Xerath popping the ulti, softening up this Lilia. Down to about half HP.
All right, I will be right back, chat.
Yone looking over the wall, trying to find this MF. Can't get too much done, but does chunk down the Xerath. We're going to see if they're going to go for the engage. Xerath flashing over the wall. Massive combo across everybody. They get completely wiped by the MF ulti. It's a Quadra as well as the Baron steal. Jhin ulti opening up. They're trying to chase in for the engage here. First member incredibly low. The GA is going to get popped. Trying to dive forward, but Lucian does take down the Kayn. Lucian sidesteps the Cassio ulti, gets another kill. They're starting to get wiped. It's a triple for the Lucian, chasing after the Jhin now. Jhin on the run, going to get knocked down. That's 4 already for the Lucian. He's hunting for the Penta. Aatrox going to try to get out of dodge. We'll see if he's spotted here. Will be spotted as he goes across that vision ward. He's going to try to run away now. Lucian, though, hunting for him. Can he win the 1v1? Nice little sidestep on the chains. Lucian dashing forward, trying to take on the Aatrox. Dashing in and out of the vision, trying to knock him down. Aatrox incredibly low and is going to get knocked down for the pentakill. Blue team starting up the Baron here. We'll see how quickly they can knock it down. Red team in the area is down about 10,000 gold at this point, so gonna have to try to make a play. Skarner going forward, steals it away. Massive Yone ulti, gonna be comboed up with the Annie. The Timbers comes down. They steal the Baron, they wipe the team, and just like that, they're back in it. The full ace, the blue team all have been knocked down. Red team pushing for the Nexus. We'll see if they can actually finish off the game right here, right now. Ezreal about to respawn, but he's in a 1v4. Let's see what he can do. The Ezreal all comes through, actually knocks down the Caitlyn. Gwen just focusing on the towers here, uses the Shroud. It's about to expire though. Ezreal gonna try to go for it. Shift in onto the Gwen, knocks down another. Can he stop them from knocking down the base? Great sidestep on the Mystic Shot, but the next one does connect. It's a triple for the Ezreal.
Right,
it's a quadra for the Ezreal as he defends the base in a 1v4.
Yeah, Korea and China dominate, and when Faker's locked in, Korea dominates.
You don't look so good, boss.
Tell me about it. It's a real inferno down here, and I'm burnt out.
I'm gonna like
try a Red Bull.
I forgot to order hi ho.
Red
I'm gonna
Bulls?
munch on some almonds real quick.
Oh, that tastes heavenly. Wait a minute. What's this?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Wings? Wings? I can't have wings. Not in my position.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Rich in the ground before Dove can even get there. In time to try to knock out as Impact gets bursted.
Don't feed. Get fed. Scan the QR code for deals only on Uber Eats.
For our events this past year, Wyatt and Dryad did some announcing and analysis of the Sin City Classic. But we do like to have it so that players can come sit on the couch and Tara can chat with people. So we do try and make it a little bit more casual. But this year we did add some more specific analysts and casters to the production. I am snacking on almonds, full salt, dry roasted with salt. I am not a salt-free nut person at all. That is not my thing. If I'm going to eat a nut, I need it to have salt. If you give enough subs, do you get shares?
The last game of Sentinels versus Dignitas, or will there be a game 3? Because
last week we won map 1, but we were kind of behind map 1 the whole time and then won a late team fight, so it was definitely not as clean. This game was much cleaner, and they're kind of dealing with the issue we dealt with last week, which is they just got their 2 of their players just chop into A24. Did you send me your info?
The excuse and also the legitimate debuff of jet lag.
Spoiler
Chop into A24. Make sure you send me your info. But last week we won, but it was not clean. Welcome, Nessix1. LOL does have team skins. I don't know if they've dropped yet. Someone needs to tell me if they're in game yet or not. But they do have some.
Full rebuild with really only kind of like.
It's more like the other elements of it versus like a player skin, unless you win Worlds. We do ship to Germany. People complain about the shipping, but I will ship to you in Germany.
And honestly,
since you're like starring in the chat today.
With this draft, first pick Varus. This champ is very strong right now.
Oh, the one John QT wears, the black. Well, John wears either the red windbreaker, which is in the store, or the black anorak, which just came in the store. So if you go in the store right now, you should be able to find both of those.
To come back here, Poke Varus is very good. On hit Varus also is in a decent
MSI is in Korea. Yeah, I think the first international of the year is First Stand. I think that's in Brazil. And then Worlds this year is in the United States. I think it's Texas for the groups and then New York for the finals.
You have one of the most goated combos, you know, Pantheon Flash.
FBI has been on a lot of teams. He was on Golden Guardians, and he was on NRG. Last year he was on Guy's Toes. Yeah, the problem is that the shipping becomes less of a problem, but yeah, sometimes customs pulls the package and then charges you like a COD import fee, which kind of sucks because there's nothing we can really do.
It's always the next trade.
No, FBI was not on an LCK team. Send one map 1 and a very clean performance. Never really trailed. Impact popped off on Renekton, and Rahel popped off on Kai'Sa.
If you really want it, I think Sion is a really giga pick for Impact at the moment. There's so much taken out.
I love this team comp again, like last time. I love team comps where you have globals, where you can move a big distance. It's like Taliyah and Pantheon, and even Sion can all like click a button and move a long way across a map.
It's crazy too.
And that's what crushed them last map.
You're thinking top lane, but I'm thinking jungle. Jungle Jace right now is.
Yeah, Worlds in Texas with Sen would be amazing.
Nerfed on the next patch, so quite happy about that.
Yeah, Sen was based in Austin until the VCT started. And so we were based in Austin, then when VCT started, we had to move to LA since the Riot Studios were in LA.
5 for 5 on top lane bands.
You know what is still up? Photon played Kled last year in summer. I've been on Kled watch. When is somebody going to pull it out here?
All right. Now the key is what champion does Rahel have, because Rahel on Kai'Sa last map was so fun. I love, like when a Kai'Sa gets fed and then she just pops in, kills you, and pops away.
Give me the Sion 100% of the time. He takes way better, and I feel like there are not a lot of scenarios where the Kled can get ahead enough to really snowball to make it worthwhile. Meanwhile, we got Poke for Poke down there.
Apex is like resetting after champs, so after their world championships. So we're always we kind of always keep coming into Apex, figuring out a team. Yes, Lucky Colin, let's get that 2-0.
Really, anytime that they call for it.
Yeah, the 2020 era, there was like a window of 9 months where we didn't lose a Valorant match ever.
Tank for tank matchup, and it will be the Cassante.
Yep, no-brainer here for Photon. Now, what we need... I mean, I guess we need more engage. Is he going to go on hit Varus because they picked the Sion? Because especially if you're showing Rel or something, like you need the damage. So I'm thinking he's just going to go on hit Varus since we're looking at a Sion, because ain't no way Lethality Varus and Ryze are going to kill a Sion later.
All right, let's see who he has to
Vi actually does decent against beefy tanks. It's kind of underrated with the passive and with the denting blows, and so
and Rel can also
it's decent,
shatter shield. So they kind of have 2 tools now to help take out the Sion. but I still think that on hit, there's a strong argument for it. Poppy, meanwhile, is the answer for
Oh, Poppy.
Yeah, so you have
Poppy has the most annoying ultimate, which in the middle of a team fight, she can just smack one or two people and they just go flying across out of the screen. She can suddenly make a team fight that's 5v5 into a 5v3. So if you hit Poppy, well, I love it. There's nothing I love better.
From EU, go over on DX that he was assistant coaching last year. Now, I got to talk with him a little bit during their scrims as well. The team was so confident, so happy to have a coach live with them. It's still the assistant coach. We're waiting on Swiffer, but still having somebody there that can help walk them through draft with a little more kind of that draft prep that they have coming in. They referenced giving them more confidence on stage too. So shout out Emmy. Still not the ideal position, waiting on that head coach, but I think overall we can see that the drafts are coming together for Dignitas.
All right, see if Sentinels can back this one up, could follow their first win up, and get their first series win.
Yeah. Timothy Wong, the one issue always is like what players' expectations are for compensation versus our ability to monetize them. And so that's what happened there, is the player was just looking for a salary bigger than what we thought we could, revenue we could generate. The guys in the suits are their coaches. Our coach, I prefer wearing merch that you can buy since I don't have a suit shop. But it is like a Korea thing where like coaches traditionally dressed up, like basketball coaches used to wear suits. Now they all, yeah, maybe Kaplan should start wearing a suit. That would be funny.
I actually wanted, I asked our stats guy Leo to take a look at some stats here for
Send gear at the birthday dinner. I love it. Poppy C. I do like our team comp. I got to admit it. You guys can wrap me out to Tarek if I curse us by saying I love the team comp.
Actually, we did have that stat here.
Nothing funnier in top lane where you have two tanks that'll just sit there hitting each other for 10 minutes and nobody will die.
Because I had a hunch that his win rate would be higher, and it is slightly higher, but not that much. And Palafox did highlight on pros that he wasn't a big believer in that. But I think just given who he tools to make action happen has allowed for this 3-core to find more success. As now Darkwing's pushing in on mid lane here.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very interesting listen, because Palafox was not impressed with who he
Mini Qbert, we're supposed to be getting him in the next couple weeks. The first run, unfortunately, had a production issue, so we had to have him remade.
Such a big playmaker and kind of a critical part, for those engages. And now he is going to be on Poppy, which is
all matches are best of 3 in the Swiss.
Main engage, but you have so much utility that you can use. It's more counter engage, like you're blocking a lot of stuff with W, and your ultimate knocking people out for objectives and stuff. And so, like, yeah, you can go for like charge plays on single targets, but you aren't starting a team fight for your team. Like, that is
we saw regular Qbert. How big would a big Qbert be?
And then you're there to interrupt a lot of dashes.
We need to get
interrupt the rel.
What we need to do is we need to make a suit like at Disneyland and have somebody come to the arena as Qbert. That would go hard. Yeah, 6-foot Qbert, not in the office. As like a walk-around costume.
Still can offer some of those tools now. Who he has
that would be hype.
On this pick as well. Right now, the bot lane has the backup of Hambach, or more so, Hambach has the backup of his bot lane as they got that bot wave shoved in. Pantheon's going to
go we need a small, medium, and a large Qbert.
He's just pathing topside, not going to try and contest that one. Trade of Scuttle Crabs. It's a 3-minute Scuttle Crab, though.
That's our, like, Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard.
I love that interview so much, too.
All right, Hambach, make us proud. Make us proud, Hambach. Make us proud, make us proud, make us proud, make us proud. No!
That will get the flash
all right.
as well as the heal. 2 summoner spells down.
You know,
all
right.
Not going to find the Pathmaker stun onto Impact as he gets knocked back up. The wave helping Impact out here. XU, not sure if he's going to actually full commit. Photon slowed. I mean, Impact's just walking forward. Ooh, Photon barely.
Gadriel is so big at this point, he doesn't need anyone's bag. He's got his own team. The funniest thing is watching Gadriel watch Los Ratones. He's more tilted than me. Like he goes hard.
Last game, you know, where Impact got ganked in the 2v1 and went for the counter kill, and so this time around he handles the gank pretty nicely.
So 3 of the players were on Disguised Toast last year, which was the Ascension team. Impact was on Liquid. Impact's been the GOAT top laner for a long time, but he had a very rough year last year. But he was really motivated to come back and work hard and play well. So that's why we took the risk.
He's pretty good at absorbing ganks, as we had kind of talked about it, joked a little bit last game.
And then Hambach had a great, he was great in Korea Academy in 24, had a rough 25. So that's really the key is Hambach and Impact, if they can return to their 2024 form. Because they were both great in 2024. But they both played a very clean map 1, so that was good to see.
Let's take a
Darkwing's had
split focus from Darkwings and
oh, that was not good right there. We did not play this fight well at all. Darkwings, get in there. Ooh. All right. Okay. 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 This is just so scrappy right now. No! Look out! Oh no. Yeah, the bot lane was on DSG last year.
Everybody watching that has a lot of questions, but we will have to get like a listen in on the comms.
Yeah.
Because clearly Hambach is thinking, it's fine. Like, you come to me, we're baiting, I will flash stun, and you Talia seismic shove.
Yeah.
But we also need to like look at the cooldown on the seismic shove. When was it last used before the camera like went back over to it? His range as well. I don't know if we can get a click in on Dark. It has to still be up, and so it's got to be just the range issue because yeah, he wasn't in range to follow it up. So that's a split. Like Hambach is clearly thinking we still go for this combo onto Palafox, but Darkwings was already backing off. Then Execute flash away, but then Palafox knows I've got flash advantage from the earlier play, and Darkwing stays around anyway. He doesn't respect it.
Yeah, that wasn't great. That was definitely not good coordination. While on the last one we coordinated much better. That one we did not.
He's over the wall. Hambach walks up and just steals
nice, but we stole the Drake right back.
Jungle opponents as Weaver's wall will come in, root it up, can't follow it up, but
oh my, oh my. Do not know how that all went so well.
They lose their jungler in the aftermath.
The coach sits in the back room on League and watches. Now the funny thing is in Korea and China they're why do they cut? What is happening? They cut away from the fight at top to go to the fight at mid. Oh my goodness. Okay, wait, come on. Oh.
Yeah, phase rec proc here for him is just going to be fine, but Sentinels...
That in Korea and China they're experimenting
right off the back of it, a turret play goes
with the coaches having the ability to
we get our Photon solo kill in the top
tap into the team comms for like 30 seconds or a minute. And so it's not even a pause. They can actually just talk during the game.
And as you said, down in Dragons, because Pantheon Q
Smite. That was nice. We got the steal and the kill. That was a big play there because the tempo is definitely going their way.
So nicely done from Hambach. And then the Talia wall cuts them off so nicely. So even though Talia, gets rune prisoned off the wall, that doesn't matter at all. All he wanted to do was create the wall in the first place. He didn't really care about surfing it. So the wall did its job there, and it earned them the extra kill. So stealing Dragon.
I'm always too stressed when the Valorant team plays, so I'll have to figure out. Like I said, the League team doesn't have the expectations Valorant team has since it's an expansion team, right? So it's not like anyone's expecting us to win. Where in Valorant, everyone's expecting us to win. It's the same arena that Valorant's played in, which is why today the League team is in the back room and the Valorant matches are on this stage.
I don't think that changes how tanky he's gonna
we did do a stream once with Nadeshot in our offices. I think it was for the kickoff, 2024 kickoff. Nadeshot was in our offices when we played them.
Corruption goes a little wide. Rahel's able to get out of that one as FBI actually doesn't get knocked up there and is safe. He does not have level 6. Can't fully go for
look out, Hambach. There's 2 people behind you.
Hambach was hovering around the blue buff, but decides to back off.
Okay. Well, they deleted the barrier instantly, at least. So Ezreal down a little.
So again, the gold's very close, and we have the Drake. So it's very similar to last game.
Ultimate, kind of fish around for that. Regardless, we're going to be looking at these Dragon timers because Sentinels, last game, they stacked really quickly. They got to a very early soul for themselves and turned that one into a win quite nicely. Very well could be the case this time around again because they do have Talia plus Pantheon with their global attack ability. And you could even mention Sion kind of in the same breath there because Sion Ultimate is so useful for the mid-game objectives.
Idiot Productions, I think if you look at NRG last year, that's your hope, right? That they had 3 young guys who it took half the year for them to come together, and then they found their form at the end of the year. So I think that's always the key, is fans having the patience for the young guys. John signed for 3 years. Second's contract ended, but John signed for 3 years, so I definitely expect John will be here for the long term.
Still a slight gold lead for Sentinels. It's going to be hard for Dignitas' composition to really get in on these objectives that we've been highlighting. All out from Photon once again.
Yeah.
But this time cannot body block Impact's ultimate, so he does get away from that third and Topo strike. Huhi, meanwhile, hovering top with Hambach because
here we go.
Health bar, maybe a dive potential.
No, he's going to walk away. They just came to protect Impact there.
Oh, okay, maybe sticking around for a little longer.
Yeah, just a
Let
little
Impact get the wave.
There. Make sure Impact doesn't get dove or anything. Finishes up the wave. Poppy recall, reset back out to the other side. Pantheon ult. Where we
yeah, you know, it's always the thing when some players aren't playing well of the team finding its rhythm together. So hopefully now that we had a good 2 weeks off, that I think hopefully will come out Friday looking clean. That's the dream.
Yeah, maybe we still go after the Varus. Like you're gonna get his flash for sure. You have the Poppy down on that side of the map to like interrupt the rail, counter engage or anything, so you don't have to be too scared about your engage. So if I'm Sentinels, I want to put more pressure down towards this bottom lane, burn through FBI's flash. Maybe you can also kill him afterwards.
When you have the Weaver's wall on top of it all, then that's suddenly a 4v2 bot side because of these semi-globals. So even XU's currently hovering around down there, drops the control ward to clear out some of that vision. Dignitas are
so again, at this point, it looks exactly like it last game. Tire FPS, I do have a favorite champ, and it's Maokai because it's so easy to play, and so I feel like when I play, I can actually contribute.
The Weaver's wall, it can actually be really hard to approach these dragons because suddenly if XU gets knocked out of the pit, it's no longer an even fight.
You run around throwing saplings around so you get vision. Your ult's really easy. You just roll a wave down the middle of the lane and stuns people. All right, here we go. Hambach again, trying to sneak in here and take the dragon while they're not ready for it.
Varus has teleport though, so FBI's going to teleport right back on down, and we're going to get the rest of the team converging. So plenty of time for
Hambach going to be able to just snag this for anyone else gets here. Uh-oh, come on, Dark Wings. Does he have his wall? Because a Talia wall right here would have been sweet. All right, nice. There's the Poppy ult. Nothing funnier than the Poppy ult. You show up, you want to get in the fight, and Poppy just smacks you with a club and sends you across the rift. Again, so we've taken every Drake.
Double ejection. Now Huhi goes back in.
Yeah, I was looking for the stun on the wall there.
Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go. Dark Wings, Dark Wings has no health. That's kind of a problem. Okay, wait. Wait a second, you gotta kill him. Yes, all right, we traded it. Wait for it. Yes.
1-for-2 trade in
nice.
Favor of Sentinels. Dignitas even committing their top laner to the play.
Yeah, so they teleport in. Impact also comes, but he just had to use his ulti.
That was great because Impact's ult, he just like turns into a car and drives across the lane.
And get their extra kill here in the
so he didn't have to use his teleport,
get the push on the
and they did.
Impact going to push
it is close again, but we have 2 Drakes, which is always so great for tempo.
During this replay, so flash for fast going in on the engage. Here we see Impact's going to walk his way over, and he actually is not able to.
Yeah, Cortez is young, right? So you have 3 really young players, so them finding their rhythm together is ultimately the key. And, Evil Genius is too loud. There you go. So we're not the 11th team. because we're now better than EG and Loud by
Sundering Sky's a great item on Pantheon, everybody.
Pretty good healing still. They nerf it, still good.
Doesn't matter. He's able to get that huge chunk of health back and survive that fight. Now Palafox, ooh, okay. Spots out Darkwings. Not going to be too punished right there. But yeah, 3-3 in the kill department, but the Dragon stacking still in favor of Sentinels. That was game 1 story, it's game 2 story.
Again, just like last game, the gold at 15 minutes dead even, but we have 2 Drakes. And we're getting them early, so therefore we can force their hand, because if you get a really early Dragon Soul, it just gives you such an advantage. And so we have the ability to kind of force their hand of them having to go to the Dragon Pit if we want to go take a turret or get vision and really kind of establish our place on the map.
Neutral objective advantage, only having 1 grub in their pocket right now.
Yeah, honestly, Kangas, I don't really see it with this comp for Dignitas either. So
I like the caster is saying their comp is kind of doomed. I like it.
And we'll see if they can, maybe make some picks or something. They've got Vi plus Varus possibilities. Some weird realm warps maybe from Palafox. But honestly, even inside lane, Darkwings is getting the push early, and he's got his team kind of hovering to protect him as well.
Yeah, and again, if Talia ever gets to that push, you can always Weaver's
when two tanks are just hanging out with each other, they just kind of smack each other, nothing happens. All right, Hombox again, and he's trying to take the Rift Herald. We have 4 people here. Where's our other player? Oh, we lost the mini-map to the... Oh, there it is. All right, Homback, take that. Take that. Yes, again, we have every neutral objective.
From FBI, and that is a Herald secured for Sentinels.
Yeah, pretty good here for...
Yeah, there's no question that Redux can op, and playing Chamber has definitely got a lot of operator in it, so... That's always part of the issue, right? Is figuring out team comps and people's skill sets. And Darkwing is just kind of searching in the darkness for Palafox. Never found him. Oh, wait. All right. All right, Huhi. Just there to kind of walk him out. What is Exu doing? That didn't really make any sense. I don't know why he opted into that fight.
Ultimate use from the Vi. No effect.
I didn't really follow that. I don't know anything. Somebody who knows the game better might know. All right, Darkwing has the ability to travel a long way on that wall. Come on. Come on. Yes. So Darkwing has the ability to create Earth that pops you up and pops you back. The new Blackout tracksuit, we got the players early so they could be wearing them now, so they'll drop for stage 1.
On top of it, and Rahel with some double buffs now on Ezreal. Trinity Force double buffs Ezreal. That was big. That's feeling pretty good. I mean, yeah.
All right, we got the 1K gold lead, and we have 2 Drakes, and we got tempo, because everybody was able to base in the perfect timing. Like, we won a fight, had the chance to base, spend the gold now to get out on the map for the next dragon fight. So that was pretty good.
When it comes to Darkwings as a player, I even mentioned this last
so we definitely have the advantage as we head into this next dragon fight.
The Azir looks great. Some of the control mages look good, but when he's not on Azir, I think that there is
Hambach and Rahel both have gold leads.
He's playing incredibly well right now in the Talia.
Look out. All right, here we go. Look out.
Big hero Azir play.
Look out.
Right now, Dignitas are scrapping here. The Realm Warp comes
that made no sense, that Realm Warp, but okay. Yes, the Poppy ult. My favorite, the most annoying ult in the game. Where you just send people out of the fight. Boom. They keep their jungler is dying right before a dragon fight is just trolling. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. GG.
I think Darkwings is a real good NA prospect here. He's looking real good.
Oh yeah.
They really trolled there because once the Poppy knocked the I can't remember if you knocked 1 or 2 people out of the fight, you can't engage there. You just can't.
And this game more
you have the ability now to drive the Rift Herald to another lane. So he just took it to get himself up to top lane.
Get there quicker so he can get in time for the minion wave.
So he can get the wave top. No jinx, it's League of Legends. It's a totally different vibe. It's a totally different vibe.
At the same time.
For Sentinels, it feels like things are starting to come together.
Oh, here we go, and he's going to get a pop this turret.
Many days ahead of last weekend's matches, they still picked up a game win versus Disguise. This time around, it's looking like they don't want to drop a single game. versus Dignitas.
4K gold lead 3 Drakes at 18 minutes. All right. Basically, we need to win one more fight. I know more about League only because I have actually played it more. And I've been around it longer because I've been watching League since 2016. Nexus Agu, welcome to the chat.
Hombach here as well can, just in time to defend the control ward. Very important here. Nice.
I do play some League. I haven't played for a while, but I do play.
Maybe you can like dream big if you're Dignitas. And try and make a side lane play to get.
This is hysterical. They just keep showing the tanks fighting each other, but we have a teleport coming in. So if he doesn't, oh yeah, that was perfect. Their guy didn't notice that the teleport was coming in to make it into a 2-on-1. Now we better kill him. There we go. Took a while.
So Darkwings will get the kill credit for himself.
Desante was about to Cassandra all over there.
You know what? If our League team gets a few wins, I'll have to get back and I'll have to figure out a game stream where I play Maokai. I play Maokai top because I'm just old Maokai top one trick.
He had a simple answer. He said, "I just want to be consistently good. Whether the team's winning or losing,
rank is a strong term for my play."
As a top laner, and I gotta say, I mean, he's drawing pressure. He's
yeah, like I was saying, the last series, the team only had a week of practice, so you could tell the coordination really wasn't there because they hadn't played much together, so you can see it's much crisper today, which is kind of the problem Dignitas is having, that FBI hadn't been an Egnar, didn't get their visas, so they haven't been able to practice much either. A Tarek Rob League stream would go hard. We may have to do that, but I'll need a little bit of time still to get myself in game shape.
Crazy there with Pantheon, Talia, Poppy here.
But I really like these two team comps today.
And Dignitas, their #1 goal now is, all right, let's try and keep enough defensive vision that we can just go for one of those Baron steals Genghis was talking about.
3 minutes until Dragon Soul.
He did get a Baron steal.
But the Baron is
it didn't
up.
Mean that they won the game, but it was cool.
It was cool.
It does, it's better than not stealing Baron.
I think, yeah, if you asked any jungler, as a jungler, you can probably attest to this, stealing feels better than not stealing. Although, actually, what feels best is when you just get it without having any steal in the situation.
It is funny in the team fight, we think you might be losing, then Poppy just goes, not so fast, because it's like a guy's dead. Right? Like, for the equivalent of the fight itself, if the Poppy ult lands, it's like you've killed somebody. Because the person is not doing damage and is gone for a long enough that you can win the fight while they're away.
Stealing versus winning the steal attempt?
Yeah, like if the enemy jungler is trying to steal it.
Oh.
I imagine the steal has to feel better, because that's like the more pop-off.
Yeah, I guess they're the same. Both of them are getting the Baron when the other person's contesting it.
I think moral of the story, Baron's good, and currently Sentinels
stealing is probably better just because the like amount of your happiness was probably very low.
Oh,
because you were
delta.
Losing.
The
delta exactly. The delta's larger because you were probably just getting pounded for a while.
So it's basically saying stealing the Baron is better than winning the Baron because you tilt your opponent because they thought they had it. And then you're like, sorry.
Yeah, that was the story from last week. But that was a 10K gold deficit. This time around, it's only 5K gold deficit. But Sentinels still have that Dragon Soul a minute away.
All right, a minute away for the fight. That if we win this next fight, we win. We could lose the fight and still be fine. But if we win the fight, it's kind of GG.
No, instead they're just going to make a play here on the Palafox.
Whoa, okay, wait a second. They're all getting here. Oh, no, Handback is kind of screwed. We better get here fast. Yeah, Handback had to flash because we oh, nice. The hot Poppy ult. Poppy ult. Poppy ult. Nice. Bye, FBI. Bye. Here we go. Here we go.
Just like Dignitas's chances.
Boom.
Coming online. 7K gold lead with 3 kills donated over and a triple to the jungler. Sentinels won't even need this Baron to start the tier 2 turret siege.
No, they are making quick
work 14 seconds.
This time.
Are we going to take the Baron and then go take the Dragon Soul? Is that our plan? I guess, yeah, they have 4 people dead. We're actually going to be able to get both.
The Dragon Soul is about to come up in 2 seconds as well. So you can take the Baron, Empowered Recall, respec, send all of the money that you just got from killing Dignitas and taking the Baron, then go to Dragon Soul fight. And
I haven't actually asked the players for tips at this point. They still needed to focus on their own play.
In this replay, but
That was a wild fight, but like I said, here's where the Poppy ult just there you go. Like suddenly, instead of them having a 5v4, we were able to neutralize their advantage and then win the fight. Now we didn't take the soul, which Doublelift would be criticizing if he was here, because instead of when we won the fight, we shouldn't have taken the Baron. We should have gone and taken the Dragon Soul. That's what Doublelift would have told you. Or right now, we shouldn't even be fighting for this Drake. We should be just going and blowing up their base while we have the Baron. Instead of like trying to win the soul, that we could go just demolish their base right now while they take one Drake, which wouldn't really be that big a deal. So I guess that is what Darkwing is kind of doing. Yeah, that is kind of what we're doing right now, is we're like, okay, you guys take this Drake while we take your base. See, this is the right thing for us to do, is not to worry about the soul and to be much more focused on winning the fight. Oh, wait, Darkwing's arrived. Okay, Rahel, don't die, Rahel. Come on, kill FBI. Boom. Okay, Rahel, stay. Yes. All right, Rahel's probably going to die here, but it's okay because we killed everybody. So I guess instead we just use the Dragon Soul as the bait for them, because they had to stop us from getting the soul. Wasn't really that big a deal if we got it, because we were so far ahead. So it was a much bigger deal for them to try and stop us.
5-1-7 for the young mid laner of Sentinels.
5-1-7. That was a clean game. Handback 6-0-7. Darkwing 5-1-7. Are we gonna end it? Wait, yeah. Are we gonna end, or are we? I don't know if we're gonna end it here. Actually, I think we got to go take the Dragon Soul. I don't think we can end. Yeah, we got to go take the Soul.
So many plays started up. So many plays also finished by him. Really impressed as well.
Yeah, we got to go take the Soul first.
Sentinels,
yeah, Inhibitor, then Drake. The Poppy ult, it basically gives you a giant sledgehammer, and if you land it, you get knocked like half a screen away. Like you probably get knocked the distance of a turret.
Yeah. Is he as hyped now when they're winning fights and they're 13k gold up, or is it like, yeah, we should win these? Because they're still fun looking.
Yeah, you get that soul. So the Ocean Soul, when you're not fighting, over time you get all your health back. So if you're in a fight and you get knocked down to 20 health, if you just pull away from the fight for a little bit, you start getting all your health back.
But it's looking very solid here in week number 2. For an organization, they were Phoenix 1 originally when they were in the LCS. Then Sentinels takes over the brand, and now they're back in the LCS, but this is technically Sentinels' first time playing here, and this will be their first series win if they can close it.
Whoa. Now the casters are trying to curse us, but you know what? I don't care. He said this is going to be our first win. I agree. It's going to be our first win.
They don't even get the dopamine of an objective
Jinxed.
exploding and hearing the noise and the gold cash in.
I am totally fine in League of Legends to risk the jinx.
The Weaver's Wall, the sole member here. Very tanky on the Cassante, so Sentinels cannot quite all in onto him. Instead, they're just starting to hit this turret.
So like right now when Impact loses some of that health, if he just backs off, he'll just get all his health back without having to base. That is true. This is the true power of showing that Taric is the curse. Because we can declare victory, the casters can declare... Oh no, Taric's here! Oh no! Taric, we are winning. Even with you here saying it, we are winning. Here it is right here. Here we go. See, again, now the great thing is with the Dragon Soul, that like Impact's health bar will just come back to life without having to base. Boom. Boom. A clean 2-0 today. Clean. Look at that. 18-3. 18-3. Make it 19-3. Make it... Somebody does need to knock the turret, but hey, that's just me. I am not a fan of diving the fountain, so they will hear from me if they dive the fountain, just saying. Boom! GG! Nice game. That was very clean. That was a fun day. Very low stress. Like both games played out exactly the same, where we just kind of ground them down, won the Drakes. I think we took every neutral objectives today. Only one time did Hambach have to steal it. Every other time we had position and just took the objective. That was nice.
You listed a lot of good options there.
Peachy Nickel, that was a nice watch.
Game number 1, I gave it to Impact.
Dive Kissy, welcome to the chat. That was a fun watch. There you go. The first full Sen league stream goes 2-0. So, hey.
I'm not happy about the result.
So next week we'll play one of the 1-1 teams. The good news is winning a 2-0 is huge because our map record is now 3-2. So even if we lose next week, as long as we win a map, we probably would guarantee ourselves 5th place.
Oh my God, we got a fan in there. Somehow the fan came through. That was golden glue.
So yeah, that tracksuit that Huhi is wearing, is that Huhi? That tracksuit, we just got the samples made for the players to make, so we will be getting those tracksuits for fans. Yeah, it is Huhi. Right? Is that Huhi?
All of their positive plays happened across both games.
The entire game was based around Dragon.
Both games 2-0. I know, I didn't have to have the stamina of Tarek.
He was ready.
I don't know, Tarek, like Tarek yesterday when all matches went 3 and there were tech files, I could see Tarek was fading at the end.
Positive numbered fight.
Yeah, that's some great puns. Welcome.
Huhi. The Poppy ult. What did I tell you all before the match?
Oh, is this live right now?
Yeah.
Timothy Wong, there is volunteer work if you're in LA. We do have people come help us at the merch booth at the venue. So if you DM Hannah on Twitter, if you want to volunteer, we do line some people up for to come help us at the booth. The Surf RL. What is my position in Sentinels? I am the owner and CEO.
In the beginning, we didn't have that much time to practice, and we have 4 Korean speakers and one Isaac who doesn't really understand Korean in game, and it was kind of natural that we kind of spoke in Korean in game. So I think it was just kind of confusing for everyone because we were never on the same page.
Yeah.
So like Jad is saying, we just had to focus on the basics. We're like, okay, guys, we're gonna focus on dragon fight every game, and kind of improve our team synergy, take one step by step, and I think that's what we did.
Yeah, that kind of bouncing off that, because a lot of people when they saw the roster would be like, oh, is this similar to the TLCKL kind of thing where, Isaac Dark Wings is the only one that's kind of out of comms. Is that going to be kind of the necessary situation with comms for your team?
Oh, no, I think we for sure feel bad for Isaac, but I think in the beginning, even for me and Hambach, even though we both speak Korean, right now we understand each other's play, but a lot of time we're in a different page in game.
Yes.
So I think we're still on the state that we're trying to get to know each other, trying to kind of synchronize together and kind of see the same way, because there's just so many different ways to play and to win League of Legends. So I think that's what we're focusing on, and then we'll try to speak more English, try to learn that way. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Overall, what do you think of Hambach? Because I was joking earlier that if you and Hambach get on the same page, you both have a tendency to just go in. So if you know that follow-up is there, I feel like this team can have the potential to be incredibly aggressive. Yeah. So what's it been like playing with him? Because I remember watching him in Challengers. He was absolutely insane. Watching him on Bro last year, he had a lot of really insane engages. So just what's that been like?
I mean, first of all, I just love him. He's just such a funny guy, and I think he has what it takes to succeed in even a broad region, away from Korea. He knows how, he's really outgoing. He doesn't get shut down. He always speaks his mind.
Nice.
And like you're saying, Emily, his gameplay, in my opinion, is really aggressive. So I think for now we're kind of on the stage of trying to see what's the limit, kind of learning each other's limit, and I have to be able to see his plays because I came from DSG last year, and I will say I was trying to go for more of a safe plays, try to make sure that we can win the game in the end. But he's a really aggressive guy, and I love that from him. So for me too, it just takes a bit for me to kind of relearn those aggressiveness, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Hambach is the player of the game. I will say Raz and Emily both voted for you.
Yeah, it was very close.
But the casters and we broke the tie. But it was so much about Dragon setups this whole time. Yeah. So hard to differentiate who was most successful in that. But it did seem like he was really disciplined all game about always being there on time, had really strong engages. And it's great to hear you have those positive things to say about Hambach as well. Yeah. Do Do you agree? Do the fans agree with this? We had a fan vote.
Let's see what the fans take.
Okay. Well, that's Kobe was saying it on cast, so he was incepting it into their minds as well. So
I like the Dark Wings call out as well. You guys definitely look like a completely different unit, and it makes sense because you guys had a lot of late, especially Hambach, show-ins from week 1, right?
Yeah.
Didn't really get to America on time.
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with Hambach deserving the MVP, but I definitely want to give a lot of props to Dark Wings as well. I think he had an amazing Orianna game, with his Shockwave combo. And even this game on Talia, I thought he was playing really proactive and playing really well. So yeah, I think our mid jungle deserves it.
Yeah, we have a quick question for you. We have apparently a B-roll. We're asking what happened here. This is, I think, post-game. Producers are telling me. I haven't seen the clip yet.
We don't know what this is.
Yeah, what is this?
Was this an accidental miss on Palafox?
He wasn't looking!
Oh!
Okay, there we go.
Whoa! Wait a second.
I mean, I was gonna fist bump him, but I felt like he didn't want to, so I just, it's just awkward to just stand there for a while. So I just passed at him.
What the heck? I mean, to be fair, it looked like he wasn't looking.
They did the slow-mo and stuff, too. That was really smooth, by the way. Like, the one into the next, it never missed a beat. Yeah.
I mean, just going by the flow, I was cool with fist bumping, but I got the vibe that he didn't want to, so I just passed by him.
All right, we have player of the games for today. So just so you know, as well, Huhi, we're currently done away with player of the series. Every game gets an individual player of the game. So here's what it is for today. Sven, APA for the first series, and then Rahel, Hambach. A couple of 2-0s today as you guys move to 1-1 in Swiss. C9 moves to 2-0, and also that means Lion is going to be one of the possible opponents for next round for you in the 1-1. Yeah. APA with 3 player of the game so far.
It's a lot. I think he's stacking them at this point.
Helps to win 3. That number of games.
I was going to say, it helps to win.
That's true.
Generally.
Also, I noticed some personal news from you online. Just wanted to call that out.
Oh, my wedding pictures.
Yeah!
Those were sweet pictures, by the way. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm
Congratulations.
Really
it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's just always for me awkward to kind of include my personal life with my career. But I'm just so grateful of my partner, Angela. Now I call her wife. It's always it kind of takes time to, do it. But yeah, I mean, without her, I wouldn't be where I am. So I am just so grateful. And she's been so patient with me, because of my schedule. We don't know how to plan, especially with wedding stuff. You do have to do early bookings and everything.
Yeah.
But she's dealing with me, so I'm so sorry, but I'm just so glad how well the picture turned out. They did some magic to me. Angela looks naturally that pretty, so yeah.
But you look like a different person.
yeah, for sure.
But no, congratulations. That's a double win for me today, and of course the life win. But honestly, let's take a end of day look at Swiss. I mean, the Swiss bracket was something that was very concerning. Of course, you guys were in 0-1, so we're seeing if it was going to be a 0-2 start for you guys. Not at all. So you guys, Jad had already mentioned, looking at Lion. Any team that you're expecting to join you guys as well? Because now we got Fly versus DSG tomorrow and Shopify Rebellion versus Team Liquid.
So, wait, sorry, what was the
joining tomorrow?
Because DSG versus FlyQuest, I expect FlyQuest to take the win. Maybe DSG is a possible opponent for you in the next round.
I do think DSG.
You already faced them.
Yeah, DSG can win, in my opinion. I thought they were pretty good, honestly. I was actually really.
So we cannot play DSG in the next round in the Swiss, since we already played each other in the Swiss.
I know. I was messing that up the whole time too.
Right.
It's Sajed.
Yeah.
I thought their bot lane was actually really good. Castle is always he was my old teammate, I think he's really
so we would either play Lion or the winner of the Shopify Team Liquid match, or we're going to have a tough match next time.
Their jungler Griffin.
We won a clean 2-0 blind hast.
Tier list right now.
You should go back and watch the VOD. It's worth the watch. It was a fun, both were a fun, clean 2-0s.
TL, who wins?
I think Fly 2-1. Fly
2-1 and then Team Liquid Shopify for the next
Team Liquid Shopify. Team Liquid.
Yeah.
Okay. 2-1 as well, I think, in my opinion.
I think I agree.
So we could be playing Liquid or Lion in the next match, which are 2 of the best teams. So that would be
We'll be back tomorrow.
That would be the real test if we could actually take a map off of either of those. That would be huge because they are both. They said Lion, Liquid, and C9 are viewed as.
Here in our 2026 competition.
That was a nice day. Thank you all for hanging out. We'll do some more of these. We'll have some combinations like last week where we had Tarek and Double Lift. We'll have some other special guests in if the schedule allows and Valorant's not playing sometimes. I think Tarek will come back and do another day, so we'll have a lot of fun. But yeah, we're just trying to make our entry into League of Legends some fun and trying to be an entry point for Valorant fans so you have a place to watch the game where we're not taking for granted that you know everything about the game. So thank you all for hanging out and celebrating a 2-0. So that's going to be it for today. For those of you who sent me information along the way, I'll go in my DMs right now and send out some stuff. Look at that. Look at Golden Glue having the celebration. Oh, I turned off the...
Sentinels win their first series.
All right, so tomorrow's when they pick the Swiss, so we'll find out who we play end of the day tomorrow. All right? And yeah, don't forget to go to sentinels.gg and subscribe to Sen Society. There is a free week preview, I think, now. And if you sign up for a year, you can get a signed Blackout jersey. All right, thank you all.